And we are live. Welcome to the Sunday service, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in. Um, yes, my guest is here on time, even before the rest of you. We've already arrived. We are setting up. Our live streams are like running. In case you are coming here, I see 4 people in the house already. People are here to try and check whether I've kept time. I can see you. I know you. They were here already, just hiding, waiting for to say, Goga, you are late. Yeah, I am not late. I made sure I made it on time. Look at the way Reese just laughing so hard because yes, Reese started the live stream with me, so we did not have to wait for the guest to come here. So what is your excuse? I see Blessed Life Journey. Thanks so much, Blessed, and thanks so much for like giving me that heads up on Reese live stream. It is open. It is open. It is open. It is open. Yes, in case you are not connected to my Sunday service co-host, the channel is pinned on top of my chat. The screen is what you are seeing there. There's a banner going on there. She's called Rhee The Explorer, the Life and Learning Hub. That is the Sunday service co-host. I see Kendrick over at Rhee's side. Wait, let's say there are no ads there. Rhee, did you click save on your studio?
Save? Yeah.
Yes. After doing the ads, did you save?
Yes. And okay. I can quickly check. Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, because Blessed has not seen like the commercials running there. But don't worry, it takes time. We just set it up before we started. Yeah. Kendrick is saying hi to you. Rhee, Kendrick is from your community, I think.
Yes,
Kendrick Ban. Yeah, Kendrick Ban is saying good afternoon. Good afternoon, Kendrick. Where are you watching us from? Welcome. Yeah, so as I wait for you guys to settle in the next 15 or so minutes, I see Senkameren. Senkameren is also from Rhee's community coming through. I like how you guys are like arriving on time, ready to support the co-host. It's such an amazing time, such an amazing. Where is Julie? Kendrick is asking.
Eileen, where is Julie? You see? Where is Julie?
Where is Julie? That's a big question. Where is Julie? I know Julie really worked hard in this house. I know. And of course, Rhee will talk to us about Julie. That when you see Rhee, you will see you've seen Julie. She will answer where she'll explain where Julie is. Yeah, Julie is a very popular figure in your especially your live streams.
Yes.
Blessings to you both from Blessed. Thank you so much, Blessed, and happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday. Kendrick says, I want Julie. watching from Barbados. Okay. Rhee, you just have to explain to us where Julie is because me, I'm not going to start like having problems here. Yeah, Julie may have made promises here to some people. Julie may be having some debts. And then we are being asked for debts here, and we are not even aware about these debts. But thank you so much. Kendrick, don't worry, Rhee is going to like speak, and maybe Julie may make a guest appearance. You never know. Maybe Julie may surprise us. You never know. And then the World of Raga says, "Good evening, Mr. President, and hello to the distinguished Rhee." This is such a greeting. Hey, Rhee, can you just do that greeting? Good. And hello to the distinguished Rhee. Why is he screaming Rhee's name like this? Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Blessed be the beans and bananas. Okay, now the bananas thing has taken it off, but anyway, we get the point. Thank you so much, the World of Ruggers, and thank you so much for the 14 months of trust. I don't take it for granted. Yes, Rhee is also a monetized channel, by the way. So in case you are over at her channel, make sure you interact with the $sign. Make sure you support her with the commercials. Make sure you support her with the... We welcome all major currencies in the world. Rhee, what is the currency in Switzerland?
A Swiss franc.
That one. Franc. Yeah. We also welcome francs. We welcome... I just said franc and then I just remembered franc is an English word. We welcome francs. We welcome like euros. We welcome pound sterling. You know, it's Europe. So yeah, don't just be stuck there because don't say you just have the $sign. You can give us any other. We also welcome gold, crypto, Bitcoin. We accept all the major currencies in the world. You know, gold, even metals and things like that. Okay, guys, I'm just winging it at this point. But yes, thank you so much, everyone. Make sure you interact with the $sign to give us support. Kendrick is saying, "Good afternoon, Rhee. How are you?" That is from Kendrick. Kendrick is saying hi to you. In about like 3 or so minutes, guys, we'll be able to start the show. And the World of Ruggers just gave you your first super chat free for the Sunday service. Yeah. This is the thing. These European people, look at it, they are like relating to each other. Like Ragat is all the way in Germany, and Ragat had like just he couldn't help it. He couldn't help it. He couldn't help it. And he says hello from the broader neighborhood in Munich. Really, let me allow you to thank your super chatter so that like I don't like ignore that. You know, getting threshold is not easy. You know, whether you are in Switzerland or in Kenya. Please
Yes.
thank Ragas on our behalf, and then we can continue.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, the world of Ragus. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. We don't take that for granted. Thank you so much. Appreciate so much. Thanks so much, guys, for showing up. Thank you. Some of
I
you
love
are,
that.
yes,
And
always.
I'm over at Rhee's channel, so I'm just like also just thanks. And if you're over at Rhee, thank you so much, guys. You guys already did what I wanted you guys to do. I wanted you guys to like that super chat by the World of Ruggers. So and you guys have already done it. So you guys, you are so fast. Hey, I've not even given instructions, and you're already like, oh, let us like it, let us like it. And then Ruggers says Swiss border is only like a little Swiss border is only like is more than an hour away with car. Oh my god, that's like going to Naivasha, right?
Yeah, yeah.
From from Germany. So I'm sure Germany is like a place you just go like randomly every other time, right?
You know, Germany is like the sitting room. Sorry, Switzerland is like the sitting room of Germany. It's really.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Switzerland is like the sitting room of Germany. Okay, no comments, no further comments. I think she has answered it very well.
That's
Blessed in
so.
abundance, brother from Blessed. I see Helen Akoya. Helen, thanks so much for making it. Helen does life is in the building. Hey, Helen was like very invested in this interview. I was speaking to her like earlier on. He's like, Goga, I'm coming for Rhee's interview. What time are we starting with Rhee? I'm like, hey, how do you even know that Rhee is the one at the Sunday service? I'd already checked. I needed to like know who is the guest at the Sunday service. So thank you so much, Helen. Yeah, she has been speaking about you like the whole day.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
at
a
least the
good
time I was
friend.
speaking to her, she was speaking about you. But thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming in. What is my currency, Mr. President? Aruba. Jesus, Aruba, the currency must be. Aruba is in. Aruba is like a territory of Netherlands. So I don't know. Aruba must be euros, right? Okay, Rhee, help me. Rhee, you know you're kind of half European, so maybe you'll know.
What is the currency of Aruba?
Aruba. Aruba is like Aruba is like a territory that belongs to the Netherlands. And I know
Aha.
that the Netherlands, I
Honestly,
know
I didn't
you.
know that. But
Say that again.
Netherlands uses euros.
Yes.
So
It must be.
euros, please.
It must be euros. It must be euros. It must be euros. Blessed, why are you asking me that? And you know I can Google here on the internet. I am on the computer. I can just say currency Aruba.
The
I
currency
can
of
easily. I
Aruba.
have a co-host. Oh, it's
Wow.
called Aruban Florine. Oh my goodness. It's called the
Oh,
Aruban Florine. Aruban Florine. Ooh,
wow. I learned something I didn't know of that, Aruba.
Aruban Florine. Oh my goodness. That is interesting. I've never heard of
Wow.
it sounds like flowers or something nice, you know. Uh
First time
Florine,
hearing
like
that.
Florine, you know, like Florine. Hey, Desert Channel Explorers, welcome. Hey, Desert Channel coming through for another explorer here from your community. Thanks so much, Desert, for making it. Desert Channel Explorers, welcome. Today I'm co-hosting the show with Rhee The Explorer, who is my co-host. Ragu says official currency in USD is in Aruba. I don't know. Blessed has to like answer as whether they use that Florine thing or it's like USD, because Aruba is also not a poor country for sure. And I used to think Aruba is like in Jamaica, next Jamaica or something. Before Blessed literally had to explain to me like I'm a 3-year-old where Aruba is located, and I went and googled it and stuff.
Wow.
Okay, and then I like how Helen says we have worked with Rhee some journey here on YouTube. She's so calm and kind. Much love, Rhee. Receive your flower. Helen, are you trying to say that I'm not calm? Helen, are you trying to say that I'm not calm? What is that supposed to mean? Helen, even me, I've walked a journey with you. And, oh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Helen, I try. Thank you so much for that. Take your flower. Rhee, I think. I think you've known Helen for a while. I know you want to
Yes,
say
yes.
something to us so that she feels nice.
Look, Helen has made me. I mean, Helen came through for me, and I think she's one of the reasons I got monetized. So, forever thankful to Helen, honestly. I
Wow.
love her
Hey,
so much.
Helen, take no, no, you're going to make us start bragging. Goga, did you hear that? Goga, did you hear that? Helen,
You
thank
know,
you. Helen, you did not. Thank you. Now we know. Now we know, Helen. You've gotten your flowers as well.
she contributed a lot, a lot, a lot. You know what I mean? She really made a huge contribution that, yeah, that I got so monetized so fast. I am
And I
so
think
grateful.
Helen is the one who introduced me to you. Probably, I probably met you at Helen's chat or something.
I was
Not-
actually sent to you by MSTT.
Oh, missed it.
I came to your
The
house.
noise maker. The noise maker. Oh my
Yeah.
God. She's about to come here. Don't even say her name because she's about to come here and then just start like scrambling. She'll scuttle things around. But Helen, thank you so much for that. Take your flowers. I think she just gave you your flowers right there, guys. Without further ado, allow me to introduce our guest so that we have a lot of things to discuss. Let me tell you, I'm looking at my preparation notes here. I have so many things to ask Rhee here. I need to like start this conversation because otherwise we will not finish. We'll have to do a part two. But and even as she's very open to part two anyway, she has said Goga will do a part two now in person. Okay, Ragus. Ragus is on fire. Rhee, this is your super chat from Ragus. He says helping you getting along with Swiss neutrality. Call me if you ever need someone to rescue you out of there.
Oh,
Ragus.
thank you so much. I will definitely take this offer.
Ragas, this is a Swiss citizen. Why are you like? She's comfortable in her country. Why are you like trying to whisk her out of her second country?
Goga, if we start dissecting Switzerland, you will know
Yeah.
why I'm always hiding here, running here.
So Ragas, the offer by the world of Ragas is a very important offer.
Very, very, very important. And for sure, I will jump on this offer. So, Ragas, thank you so much. You can expect I will come through.
All right. All right, no, noted. And guys, I'm going to be having an amazing conversation with the world of Ragas on the 8th of August on his channel, and I can't wait. Of course, I'll talk about it later on in the Sunday service. But yes, I'm really looking forward to that conversation. Ragas and Goga in the same panel, just discussing YouTube and life and things. It will be a great chat to have. But allow me to the rest will find you here, or my managing mods will welcome you accordingly. Let me start the show so that we can get into the meat of the business. And then at least we have enough time to also get you guys to ask the guest questions, because I know you guys may be curious about this Switzerland story and more. So I have to make sure that at least I make accommodations for you guys. All right, so I will pause the music a bit so that I can read something about Rhee, and then we can carry on. So once again, in case you're not yet connected to her, there's a link that is pinned on top of my chat. We are multi-streaming as well, so the live stream is taking place both in Kenya and Switzerland, and then what will happen is that as soon as I read it, and of course we start the conversation, you can click on the link that is on top of my chat. It will throw you over to her live stream, and then you can be part of that. Support. I actually encourage you guys to get out of my live stream. Go watch the Sunday service from her side. You need to. That's what we always do to the guests at the Sunday service. We have to make sure that we are supporting the guests at the Sunday service. So get out of here. I'm not chasing you out of the. I'm just saying go and watch over at Rhee's side, just to give her that support for today because she's our guest. But without further ado, allow me to read this short biography to introduce our guest. Okay. So Rhee Rhee The Explorer's brand is an interesting one because it sits at the intersection of science, global living, travel, wellness, health, and purpose. She's a nurse working in Switzerland, a health educator, a lifelong learner, explorer, a storyteller, a PhD student. Guys, this man wears so many hats. I don't even know which one I wanted to like pick specifically, but you get the point. But her journey reflects a deep curiosity about both the world around us and the ways in which we can live healthier, more meaningful lives. Through her channel, Rhee The Explorer, she creates a space where health, education meets real life, making complex health and wellness topics accessible while exploring the connections between our health, culture, food, environment, and everyday choices. Her work encourages us to ask better questions, challenge what we think we know, and become more intentional about how we live. Her own journey has taken her from Kenya to Switzerland, where where she works while also pursuing her PhD studies and gaining valuable experience in an international healthcare environment. Her journey is a powerful reminder that career can be more than just a profession. It can be a platform for learning, serving others, and discovering new possibilities. Along the way, Rhee has also discovered that education is not confined to lecture halls, labs, or textbooks. Some of the greatest lessons come from stepping outside our comfort zones, traveling to new countries, experiencing different cultures, sharing food, and seeing how people in different parts of the world understand health and well being. But perhaps what makes Rhee's story most inspiring is that she's not simply collecting knowledge and experiences for herself. She is building toward a bigger vision, one that brings together wellness, farm to table living, fitness, culture, and storytelling through her dream of creating a wellness retreat in Kenya. Her journey is a reminder that our passions do not always have to exist in separate boxes. Science can coexist with curiosity. Healthcare can coexist with exploration. Wellness can coexist with culture. Travel can become education. And personal growth can ultimately become a way of serving and inspiring others. And today, that is the story we are going to explore with Rhee, the explorer, the lessons she has learned through her travels and living abroad, and the vision she's building for the future back at home. So, give me just take a moment and drop some nice hearts over on the chat just to make sure that you're welcoming Rhee. Let her feel very welcome. And Rhee, welcome to the Sunday service. I may not have done it justice, but to the people are meeting you for the first time here at the Sunday service. Who is Rhee? What's her story? Just to unpack who Rhee the Explorer is.
So, thank you so much, Goga, for that interesting intro and bio. Actually, you've spoken about my dream of a wellness resort for the first time. I have never literally spoken it to anybody. So that motivates me to go ahead with this dream. So I am Rhee, and Rhee the Explorer. I'm Kenyan, and I live in Switzerland. I'm a Swiss citizen. I have lived in Switzerland now for the last 10 years.
Wow.
Yes, I did my master's degree in Switzerland and I proceeded to doing a PhD over there. And I'm about to finish my PhD in January next year. So, yeah, I am Kenyan, Swiss at the moment. Of course, Kenyan, Swiss. I will never say Swiss Kenyan. And I hail from a very small, remote village of Bungoma County in Kenya, Western region.
Hey, you're from Bungoma. Now I understand why people, even
Yes.
Helen was in Bungoma today. Hey, okay.
Ingoho mundu humundu.
Ingo, there's a lot of tea on your live streams.
Yes, yeah.
There's a bit
And
of interference. I don't know that.
excuse me, there's someone has volume on. Are you in the channel? Ah, okay.
Okay, it's gone.
Sorry,
It's gone.
it
It's gone.
stopped.
It's gone.
Uh-huh.
And
I think
welcome,
it did.
Julie. And thank you so much, Helen, for the super chat. Thank you so much for that super chat, Helen. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. Hey, Bungoma, you guys were coronating your new king today. But anyway, that's a story for another day. We'll
Yes.
continue with the. Now you're going to make Helen stick here, go and call everybody. Yeah, like everybody is going to be called on this live stream from Luyaland. Hey, Sawa.
Yes. I have all this, all the Luya features, in Dumbo and Omwana Inyanya, all those things.
Bye, da, 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 na, na.
Yeah. So, anyways,
And Big Banana,
so
welcome. Big Banana is saying hi to you. And then Julie's on the live stream too. Ken was asking for you, Julie. Julie,
yes,
there's a gentleman from Barbados who is asking for you.
yes.
Ken, Julie's on the chat as well. Thank
Oh,
you. Carry
welcome
on.
so much, Julie. On every live stream, people are asking me about Julie, and I think I've lost a lot of people because Julie is not appearing on the live stream anymore.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much for everyone, Big Banana, Julie, everyone who is here from my side. Thank you so much for joining. So, Goga, do I proceed telling people who I am, or
Yes.
what?
Carry on, carry on,
Okay.
carry on. Sorry, I interrupted because I think when you said Bungoma, I
Yes.
got excited.
Yeah. So, um, well, so I personally, I am really, really a passionate person. I love people. I love meeting people, but I'm an introvert. So I don't know if you're an introvert, it's really difficult to get out. But once you get out, because you're aware of that introvert situation, you talk to people so easily. So I really, really get to connect with people whenever I
Yeah.
step out. So I love people. I love connecting with people. I love making friends. I have a lot of friends. And I am one person who believes that every human being has something to tell.
I
And
like
so
that.
you find me really speaking to everybody from the guard, the housekeeper, to the CEO of the house, and all that. So I really believe in humanity, that we are all the same and everybody has something to say, no matter what. So
Mm,
that's my guiding principle in life. I am very explorative, but I'm completely geographically challenged. You put me outside there, I have to be looking around for landmarks because otherwise I can't find my way out. But imagine an explorer who is geographically challenged. But apparently, when I speak to women, a lot of women are like me, so I'm not an outlier. It's normal.
yeah.
And I love having working very hard, but really having some fun amidst that hard work.
Yeah.
So I really really enjoy. And if I cannot bring some fun in hard work, it annoys me, and I can easily break down.
Good self-awareness.
Yes, yes, yes. So I really believe in minding about wellness, minding about others, but also minding about wellness, and really, really taking care of oneself. I think I take very good care of me, and I love myself so much. And I try to extend that love to others because you can only give what you have, right? You can't give what you don't have.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's me. And I sometimes forget that I'm a human being who is just as like any other human being, and sometimes I kind of define myself by the things that I do or I am, but actually, who is Rhee? Rhee is just Rhee without all those degrees.
Yeah.
I love nowadays. I have known to see myself like Rhee, a person just like any other, who is trying to navigate through life. And in this school of life, I have learned a lot and I can give a lot, and I'm still learning. And I try to be just a good person. So that's me. But I'm very misunderstood a lot. A lot of people misunderstand me. I am sure in this chat there are a few people who have misunderstood me in one way or another.
Yeah.
I'm here to clear all that.
But definitely not Helen Akoya who says that, oh my God, I never knew she's from Western. No wonder I connect to her on a very deeper level. Yeah,
Yes.
no, your Luya sisters, they cannot be helped. They cannot be helped. And then Big Banana says, oh my God, she looks beautiful. She looks beautiful. Big Banana si ndio Mluya mwingine hapa. Watu wa Bungoma wote. We can see you. I like a few things you said. I number one, the introvert nature. I totally like that, and very relatable. And but one of the things I love that you said you are Kenyan Swiss, and I think that is a very important boundary for you. Can you explain to us why is it important? Why are you not saying Swiss Kenyan? Especially we live in a society where people want to always identify with a country that seems to be doing better than home. But I like how for you you are Kenyan Swiss. You're not saying Swiss Kenyan.
Yeah, that's really important for me, and I live by that. For me, there is no other better place than home, and for me, home is Kenya.
Yeah.
Switzerland is my second home, and I love Switzerland, and there are many, many, many good things. And Switzerland has really made me, has modeled me, has changed me for the past 10 years. I can say I have benefited so much by being in Switzerland and being Swiss. But Kenya is where I call home. And because my definition of home is a place where you never have the urge to
Mm,
run or to escape
I
or to
like
go
that.
away. So for me, that's home because there are few times I've asked myself, really, is Switzerland my home? Actually, it's my second home, but it's not really home compared to Kenya because it's a place where I constantly or I intermittently feel like running away from. So for me, that's not home. It's
Home,
my
I like that.
second.
Home is where you always want to run to. I like that. I like that definition.
Yeah.
Yes. Read
And
the
here,
explore.
sorry,
Say
sorry.
that. Just finish your thought. Sorry.
I just wanted to say that having been out, actually, I live in Switzerland, but I've been to so many other countries, Europe, Asia, and Africa. And I've come to know that we are seriously blessed to be Kenyans or Kenya as a country. And
Absolutely.
I'm so proud, so proud. Having been in those countries, I can really say with a 99% confidence that Kenya is the best place to be, especially Nairobi.
Well, I like that when everybody is trying to leave this country and flee.
Yeah.
What inspired the name Rhee the Explorer? And one of the things I like with your channel name is also the extension or the what you normally call the suffix to the name, life and learning hub. Like there's just something powerful about this channel name. What inspired the name? Because this brings a blend of a lot of things. You're not just an educative space, but yes, you explore different things. So just what inspired the name Read the Explorer, and why did you add the suffix life and learning hub to it?
Yeah. Actually, Ree um, is a name that I was called when so my comrades, I worked internationally in other countries, and I
Yeah.
was in a group of I was in an organization that is really close. Why when you're in, it's like everybody. Everybody knows you over time, right? And
Yeah.
so I had a lot of friends and colleagues who always called me Ree. It's related to my first name, Rhoda.
Mm-hmm.
So they called me Ree. And my best friend, who is Colombian, she called me Dora the Explorer because she said I've got big eyes like Dora the Explorer, the character.
Yeah.
And so this has been like my name. These have been my name. So it's really like the names that friends and comrades call me, and it's a
Mm,
very playful name, and I like that. My nature is playful, so yeah,
that's
that's
nice.
it. Yeah, and Life and Learning Hub. I was actually, when I created the channel without even knowing what YouTube was, how to hold the camera, how to do. In fact, I had no idea what they do on YouTube, but I created a channel, and I knew this was gonna be my name, the name of my channel, because I was thinking long term. I wanted to teach and teach, but also bring in the aspect of wellness and lifestyle in my teachings. So
Mm,
teach, share the knowledge that I have, the health knowledge that I have, but at the same time, look on the aspect of lifestyle, so wellness, fitness, nutrition, mindfulness, and all those things.
yeah,
So yeah, so this is why Rhee the Explorer. And funny enough, when I travel so much by KLM, and when you have all these sky teams, I don't know,
the miles.
yeah, my name is Explorer. They just give me a random name,
What?
Explorer. Honestly, on my KLM membership card, it's Explorer, and I
Okay.
never.
Okay, Ree, how many miles do you have? Like for the airline to even give you a name, how many miles do you have?
Oh my gosh, a lot, a lot. I get a lot of benefits. Sometimes I give up miles for something else. Like I collect those houses, little tiny Netherlands houses. Yeah,
My God. Very interesting, like insights, and your platform blends different things, and that's the reason I was asking you about that name, because it's very intentional. You you know on your channel you talk about health, you talk about wellness, you talk about travel, and of course you talk about lifelong learning. Why these four areas specifically? Because
yeah.
I like how you've zeroed into these four. It's like you picked a niche, and you've also picked things that you are very, the things that you have conviction that you can deliver. So why these four areas on your platform?
Yes, Goga, I like that you asked that. Honestly, from outside, you might like it and you might think it's nice, but inside, I struggle a little bit. I'm one person, and in fact, my life is just like that. I have so many interests and capabilities, and I always
Uh,
try to do all of them instead of niching down to one thing. And
yeah,
so, and I think that this is also one of the reasons that my channel is a little bit not performing so well,
yeah,
because I have so many interests and I do a lot of interests, and I haven't really come to a point to see, like, to decide which one can I do, because I have passion for all those things that I do over there.
yeah.
But I know that in business sense, it doesn't really make sense to do things that I'm passionate about. I needed to do things that somebody else is passionate about, and so
Mm,
this is yeah. I struggle a little bit with that. I For the moment I'm really doing all those things because I'm passionate about them, and I know I can do them, but it's not what I want for my channel in the long run.
okay,
So
good to know.
yeah.
And I like the honesty, because for me, I always say it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it gives you the option to like explore different things, and then eventually, like, you'll have picked like something that works for you.
Yeah.
So it's
Hmm.
perfectly. I always call it's discovery. The channel is still growing. You never know. Maybe 1 million subscribers from today, you'll be on a different level, thinking about different things.
And I'm
And that takes us.
exploring.
Yep.
Sorry.
And I
I am
see.
exploring.
And you're the explorer. I love it. You're the explorer. Anyway, the possibilities are endless. SMS, thank you so much for coming in, and thanks so much for supporting Rhee. And Eva Kika, thanks so much for coming in. Eva Kika, SMS is saying that you ignored him yesterday in town. These are whatever receipts that means. Please sort out that drama. Yes, the man is very pissed that you ignored him in town. Guys, definitely is not talking to me, because there is no way I've not been in the CBD for the last 2 weeks, so I have no idea what he's talking about. Yeah. And I'm the president. I have bodyguards and things. I cannot be walking in the streets like randomly. So it's definitely not addressing me. Eva Kika, can you respond to the man and why you ignored him? And that means you have to give him a super chat for him to feel nice. It's a newly monetized channel. Um, that takes us now to the next part. Big Banana, why are you laughing? No, I have to tell you, there is no is addressing me because I have not been to the CBD like I don't know for how long. So it's not talking to me. Anyway, and that takes us now to the conversation around moving from Kenya to Switzerland, the journey abroad. Rhee, take us to that moment. Like that day you made that decision that you're leaving Kenya. What was going through your mind? Was it the first time that you had ever left the country? What is it that like sparked that idea? Because I mean, home. I like what you said. Home is where you run to, intermittently when things get overwhelming. But now the journey of leaving home, your comfort zone, to go to a country in Europe, not even like you're going to like Bungoma. Going to the village is already like sometimes a decision you have to make from the city to the village. But now you are leaving the continent and then you go and land right in the middle of Europe. Um, what inspired that decision?
Yeah. So, Goga, I went to Switzerland. Actually, the first time I went to Switzerland, I was going to a training, to a course, a short term course. It was
Yeah.
just for a week. So I went and I returned home. Then I was working internationally. So, but I was already traveling within Africa and a bit of Asia. But the day that I decided to move to Switzerland, um, for a long time, um, I have to say, I was so excited. I was so excited. When you're young and you're going somewhere and knowing, I have to say that I didn't give it a thought. Like, I was leaving my mom behind. I
Yeah.
loved so much,
Yeah.
but I knew I was gonna go. I really wanted to go because I was then going to do a master's degree there, and I knew this would take a long time. I was so excited, and because I had been there, I knew what I was getting myself into. So it wasn't such a bad transition. I remember only really the excitement of
Mm.
going there. After my master's degree, I started to work before I got into the PhD. But the moment that I got into the PhD and knowing that this is gonna be even longer, like I would be away even longer, I started
Mm.
really, really missing home and even regretting the idea that I went I went to
Yeah.
Switzerland. Yes, because I think when I was really young and less educated, I thought, oh, I really wanted to go, and that would like sort out my life, and I would, yeah, have all the things that I wanted in life. But I think with a little bit more education, I came to learn that, come on, hold on, home is best, and I can do all the things that I am doing here but home. And at the beginning, I was so elated, excited. In the middle of that journey, I started really to doubt my decisions,
Mm.
um, and also to start thinking that really I should be doing all this stuff back home. Honestly, to be honest with you, being a Kenyan or an African in a country like Switzerland, Switzerland never had colonies or anything, so they are really neutral, and so they were not exposed to any other culture like African
Oh,
cultures,
yeah.
for example. So, there is always a lot of, to survive in that environment, you have really to prove yourself. In fact, people tell you, you have to prove yourself that you can do A, B, C, D. And so, for example, here in Kenya or in the rest of Africa, So work like what I do, like if you assist someone who is a patient, they are so forever grateful, and they're so grateful that somebody is there. And but there, it's like the work is not that appreciated. It's like it's your duty, you're paid, and
Which is expected, yeah.
yes, yeah, all that matters for patients over there is food. Was the food good or not? Was the ward hotel like or not? So all those aesthetic things are they matter more than this human to human connection, and this started to disturb me. And I
Exactly.
thought, well, I think work is more meaningful back here at home than over there. Of course, there it's so meaningful because the cash, the pocket is
The
big.
money is better,
Yes,
yeah.
the money is bigger than
And
anything you can imagine about.
and just holding that thought, because that also now speaks in terms of biggest culture shock. Yes, you had visited Switzerland before, but now you have to live there, because a week, a week is easy. I'm just passing by. Maybe even the first time when you went for the training, it was just like, oh yeah, I'm excited, I'm in Switzerland. And then now when you have to live there, now the realities
Yes,
start kicking in, because you are African, you are a black woman, you are now right in the heart of Europe. Now it is for you, it got uncomfortable because Africans, we are very social people. Like,
yes, yeah,
yeah, we are very social people. We are very human, like even in how we relate with people, like beyond even as much as you are doing the job, you really care about the welfare of the next person, because it is how you've been brought up as an African. So
yeah.
that must have been a very huge shock for you. So how did you, like, even what were other shocking things you discovered? And I'm glad that you said something about them not having been a colonial master or anything. They were not exposed to now these other parts of the culture.
Yes, yeah. So definitely, the African and the Kenyan in me,
Yeah.
um, yeah, presented a big culture shock.
I
Yeah,
can imagine.
yeah, yeah, over there. But there are other aspects of culture shock that I got. Like the work culture itself.
Yeah.
It's like in Switzerland, really, I'm not ashamed to say, people work so hard, extremely hard. Like you get appointments at 7 a.m. Appointments start at 7. And he
Wait,
in Kenya,
seven, seven, like people start working at 7.
even before, let's say doctors, nurses, they are starting work at 6:30, something like that. So you get appointment, like you have a doctor's appointment at 7, or you have an appointment, I don't know in which office at 7. And I'm used to like, but countries like Spain and others, uh, maybe at 9, but in Switzerland at 7. So Swiss
Wow.
people, they work so hard, and the work culture and the discipline is so hard. And like their education system makes them do everything according to the book, and nothing, not even a dot outside of the book. Imagine, really like that. And and imagine me, a Kenyan who has been socialized through this Kenyan school system, and I'm
Yep.
only going to Switzerland at the master's level. I got the biggest culture shock of my life. And even working, so studying is different, it's easier. But work, when you have to, if here there has to be a dot here, and you put it a few millimeters away from where it's supposed to be, no, 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 it's
Oh
not
my
allowed.
God.
You're
Yeah.
not capable. So that's Switzerland work culture. And so for me, this work culture gave me a big culture shock. And but people work so hard, they are so exact, but they are so stressed, extremely
Wow.
stressed. And if they see you happy and having fun, they are jealous of you having fun. They get annoyed that somebody's having fun, or
Why are you
somebody.
having fun and we are supposed to be suffering?
Yes. So suffering is like inscribed in their minds.
Wow.
So for me, that was and I've said that, I mean, I am playful, I like people, I am social. And so I got a big culture shock. But if you really want to work, you have to learn that. So I learned that the hard way, but it's very uncomfortable. learning something like that. If I were going there in class six, I would learn without pain. But
Yes.
I'm doing a master's degree there, and I'm working there in my advanced age like that. I'm not 8 year old. I got so much pain, to adapt to that system, to that kind of working, that discipline. I'm still striving to keep up to their standards, but I'm not there yet. But I try my best, and that's why I am still there. So for me, work culture is really, it can present a very huge culture shock and
Mm,
stress. But learning, I picked out something really important that is helping me, that has helped me, and I think that this is very important to pass on to anybody else, like here in Kenya or wherever. When they learn, they learn according to, like acquiring competences, and you can clearly see that somebody moves from A to B, really acquiring competences. At the beginning of the course, you can
mm,
clearly see how they learn competences and acquire these competences and be very proficient about them. Um, and they discuss so much. You can never find a Swiss person alone working. They are always pairing up. They pair up. You always find two people studying together, like study buddy,
mm.
and there's no competition. So they learn so effectively and efficiently, and this has helped me. It's something I picked from them. It's
That's
very
something
painful
good.
to adapt to that, but yeah, yeah,
And David is asking a question here that can also talk, maybe make us talk about the food. So David is asking, Rhee, co-host, talking about hard work. How hard is it to get okra and cook it there in? David, I will kick you out of the live stream. David, what is wrong with you? Like you could have just asked me whether there is. You could have just asked about the food culture shock there. This is a Luya woman number one, and when you ask about okra is at the heart of this community. Um, David. But anyway, because I can't discriminate, anything goes at the Sunday service. Please answer the question.
hey guys, it's so easy to find okra thanks to our Indian colleagues. There are
Yeah.
Indian shops where I buy okra. And actually, on my channel, there is a video where I have bought okra. But okra is so expensive. It's so expensive. But trust me, I always buy okra, and I cook okra wherever I go. In Switzerland, in Kenya, even now I have okra in the plate. I have cooked okra.
David, please connect to the course. David, just go and make sure you subscribe to Rhee. The link is pinned on top of the chat. Make sure you're part of Rhee's community, whether you don't like okra or not. Make sure you're connected to that. And that's a great question to discuss because food that we take for granted here back at home, it's generally very expensive, especially abroad.
Yes.
What in terms of the food culture, was that like a shock for you? How did you adjust to the food? Because you are used to ugali here, you go there, ugali is like a myth. You're used to the traditional vegetables we like eating here, fish,
Yes.
chicken. There's the chicken kienyeji you're used to here from Bungoma. Then you go there, you're finding broilers. How did you adjust to the food and stuff?
Yeah. Luckily, Switzerland is a landlocked country, and
Yeah.
and so they rely so much on. It's landlocked, mountainous, and it has lakes. So they don't have capacity to feed. So Switzerland doesn't have capacity to feed its people. So they rely on imported food, and
Mm,
because of the neutrality of Switzerland, I think they allowed a lot of people from different countries, like India and which other country? There's another Asian country next to India.
mm,
There was a war, so every country where there was war before, there are those people from those countries who settled in Switzerland many years ago, and those people brought with them the food culture. So you find different shops,
Oh,
different kinds of
nice.
shops, Asian, Indian, some African shops, and all those. So finding food, different food is definitely was definitely not a big problem. But of course, finding ugali is a problem because there are no Kenyans. Kenyans never went to Switzerland like that. So there's no gali, there's no mrenda. And this annoyed me a lot. Kenyeji chicken, there isn't. There's some strange chicken coming from France, I think. They look like chicken Kenyeji, but they are not. They are insulted and I don't know what. So
Yes.
I tried those and I couldn't bear them. So definitely the food culture for me, as I'm an explorer, that was not a big problem for me because I had been traveling to other African countries and I got exposed to different foods. Actually,
Okay.
I'm one Kenyan who, in my bag when I travel, you will find some cooked murenda and some and some sweet potatoes, but you won't find ugali, for example, because I know that I can find fufu and other things. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I was used to other foods. I even ate snails from in West Africa. So
Wait. You ate snails. Like
snails, those.
Helen. Helen Akoya. Helen Akoya. In addition to add Miss V, add Rhee to that list of Miss V. The people have eaten snails and they say it very proudly. Like you ate these snails I see walking around in my garden.
Yes, in fact, in Liberia, the snails are huge. They're like a big rat or like a big some like a bird. They're
Ooh,
so big, and they cook them so well that and they
oh my God, no!
so imagine if I ate those things. I couldn't fear the Swiss food. Actually, Switzerland, the Swiss food, like the traditional Swiss food, is
Hmm.
really, even themselves, they say it's really bad. So the food that comes from outside, like Indian, Asian, South American, is it's and Italian and French, of course,
Yeah.
it's very appealing for Swiss people. And so I just adopted to that food what I don't eat, and that has been always a culture shock. And even for the people, like when I go to a restaurant in Switzerland, I never ask for steak, meat steak,
Yes.
because they don't cook it. They give me steak, bloody steak in my plate, and I can't see blood in my plate.
I
So
know.
yeah,
Ooh.
never ask for steak in Europe or in Switzerland because they will give you a bloody piece of meat. And so I never ask. So I tried, like at the beginning, I was asking, I want steak. And then they bring me something bloody and I say, no, it has to be well done. And they look at me like, imagine
What is
telling a
wrong with
chef,
you?
yeah,
Yeah.
what's wrong with this person? And they wouldn't do it. Like they are cooking according to the book and they wouldn't do it differently for me. So I gave up asking for steak. Never. So I never eat steak in Switzerland, and I never eat a certain cheese called gorgonzola. It's like moldy, smelly kind of.
Yes, like the aged stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I say I don't eat those things, they are just looking at me like, huh?
Like you're
I,
missing out in life.
yeah. Yeah. So but I explore with food like, yeah, with many other things, and so I like trying different kinds of things. I love Swiss food that is really not so much loved, like fondue.
It,
It's
it,
like melted cheese. You just melt cheese in a pot and you
yeah.
keep stirring it and you add some white wine and then you eat it with bread.
That is not. What is that?
That's fondue. That's really like a national dish. And
And you're
roast.
like,
Roast is another type of food. It's just you grate potatoes, like Irish potatoes. You grate
yeah.
them and then fry them in a pan, They look a little bit like chapati, and then you fry them in butter, so they get brown on both sides, and then
Yeah.
you add an egg on top, and that's rosti. That's Swiss food.
Wow.
Yeah. No,
People on
it's
the chat, people on the chat are laughing at me because of the faces I'm making here. So I need to like the problem with my face is that my face never my face always betrays me even in meetings because of the very glaring subtitles that you can read on it. Um, so Joan Parker, welcome, Joan Parker is on the live stream. Thanks so much, Joan Parker. Joan Parker is also like, oh my god, the snails. Did she say snails? Yeah, I know, Joan. I know, Joan. And then David Ant is even asking me, Goga, you eat okra, but on the snails you draw a line. So David, how do you start even comparing these two things? Because David is like asking me now, because I think this is the same way David looks at okra, the way I'm looking at snakes. Helen is saying, Rhee, please don't explain the cooking procedure for snails. I don't want to know. Then Joy is like, thank God I don't eat meat. Like, Joe, is snail even meat at this point? The way you saw the way Rhee was like saying how it's so delicious and okay. I
and
don't
it's
know.
have you
Oh
ever
my
seen
goodness.
the
Yeah.
crocodile?
Crocodile have eaten very rubbery. At least that one I've eaten at carnival. So once in my life, I ticked the box and I've never done it again. But I like the conversation, especially around food, because it always helps you understand how somebody is going to survive. Because Switzerland became your second country eventually. 10 years
Yes.
later, somehow you found a way to like navigate life around it, and that's going to take me to the next thing I wanted to just find out. Because in terms of something about, I like what you said about the work culture is like, you have to like really find adjustments to it. They follow the straight and narrow. You can't navigate things. And coming from Kenya, and the way sometimes we love shortcuts, I can imagine how that must have been difficult.
Yeah.
But in terms of like life in Switzerland that surprised you in a good way, like what are some of those things that even you are just like, oh my God, where have I been? Like you just looked at them and you're like, this is it. Like they surprised in a very nice way, and even you just love the fact that you made a decision to come to this country.
Yes. First of all, I have to say, really, the money.
You want to go there. Hey Nelly, the money.
Because my explorer life without money, it wouldn't be possible. So
Yeah.
I thank that country because the money is good. Okay. Well, another really important thing, and I'm serious. Me as an introvert, is the best country for me.
Oh.
Because in Switzerland, you speak to people if you want, and if you don't want, nobody bothers you. Do you know?
It's not like this country. Let me tell you, this country, you don't greet somebody, they are just like, what is wrong with you? What did I do to you?
Yeah. Can you imagine? Really, in Switzerland, you can lead a very private life and nobody bothers you. Can you imagine? And it has happened to me as well. That you even go to the supermarket and you find the president of the Swiss Parliament. We don't have a president, but always there's every year there's a president of the Swiss Parliament. You go to a supermarket, you see this person coming with his rucksack on a bicycle, standing
Yes.
behind you at the cashier, and nobody says anything. you
Wow.
know Nobody says anything, nobody even says hello. He's treated in the same way like me,
Like a normal person.
like a normal person. He's buying a burger just like me, like a normal person.
Like he
uh,
doesn't have presidential problems like me.
Nothing, nothing. In fact, people, the discipline I have never seen anywhere. Like there are many people we see on TVs in the US, and you meet this person really in Switzerland somewhere. You just suspect this is the person, but nobody gives a shit. So, oh, sorry, I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
So, but that is also like here in Kenya. Like imagine you have a PhD and you're respected, then nobody cares. Even a cleaner where you're working, has the same status like you with a PhD. Can you imagine in a
That's a
country like this?
beautiful society.
Yes, for me, it's perfect because I can go get to people if I want, whenever I want. If I want privacy, it's completely privacy.
Wow.
It's completely private. I love that, and the way things are organized, it's so transparent. You know every process. Like for example, when I was getting my citizenship,
Yeah.
the process was like the way it is on the website or online. It's
Yeah.
like A, B, C, D, and it goes like that, and so smoothly. You don't have to waste time going anywhere. You find things sent to you at home. Like stuff happens so smoothly. There's no hustle. I hate hustling. There's no hustle. And that I love so much that you don't have to hustle to get anything. You don't get anything if you get things the way they are described, the way they are supposed to be. So that's really,
Mhm.
really cool.
Yeah.
And of course, it's beautiful. There are many opportunities. If you want to work, you will always work. If you don't want to work, you will not work. And by the way, we don't work like you get a job and you work 100%. No, you can decide. I want to only work 10% or 20% or 50 or 60. Actually,
Mhm.
almost nobody works 100%. So there is a lot of flexibility in life, and so a lot of things function. And for me, if you're disciplined, you're an introvert, you're a private person, it's
It's
perfect.
a perfect country.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And and I like that, there's something you just said there in terms of even just the social. Nobody cares about your status. You may be the president and you're standing in the supermarket queue, and nobody is like coming there to like collect autographs from you and things like that. That is like amazing.
Yes. It's so
Wow.
amazing. Oh,
Oh my goodness,
it's
that's
it's the
amazing.
best country for. Actually, you find a lot of people who like if like I am sorry to say this. Like I've met a lot of people in that country who in their country people were like homophobic or I don't know what. That country provides people shelter and provides the privacy that people need. So I think it's very, very good for humanity, for
Mhm.
every type of person. I really love that.
And also one of the things, Switzerland is also one of those, as you say, it's been treated as one of those neutral countries. Like it stayed away from the world wars and everything. Sometimes when peace agreements are being signed, you find that these things are done in Switzerland. It's become like a hub for where most things are done. Include even one of the biggest, one of those the UN agencies that sits there, because Switzerland is always treated as like the neutral country to be in. How does that like reflect even in terms of their culture and even their approach, especially to like let's say for example you have a HR issue. How does it like translate to like conflict resolution? Do you see it even in the people? Yeah.
Yeah. So that neutrality and democracy is it's really from the grassroots. It's like the backbone of everyone in that society.
Yeah.
People don't solve their conflicts on the streets or by logging heads. They are very neutral. Like if you are at work and you have a HR issue,
Mm.
it's solved so in a very neutral way. I mean, there's no like a case or I don't know. They are facts. Actually, they really based on facts. But one thing like conflict resolution, sometimes me and I think it's my culture because
Mm.
here in Kenya we would call a spade a spade, but there they will you can be in shit in hot water, and
Yeah.
you are in a meeting with the HR, but they will make it think they will make you think or feel like there's nothing that is gonna happen, but you are fired. You know what I mean? Like you're sitting in front of people and they're like, maybe it could be like this, maybe like that. And we care about, it's so, for me it's so boring, honestly. Like a Kenyan, I get so bored and I get so confused. they
Yes.
make they make like, like, it's like everything is packaged in a very beautiful shell, but inside there is a slimy, smelly snail. I wish I wish they could just be transparent, but there's no
Oh,
transparent.
say it as it is. Just tell me you fired
Yes,
me.
yes, they are like, not direct. Actually, that's the word. They are transparent, but they are not direct. Never. They can never be direct. And if you are a direct person, you will forever be in conflict with a Swiss person. You have to
Ah,
be go around a bit about the
the
bush.
the neutrality thing.
Yes.
Oh
So
my
being
god.
politically correct, it's so annoying. I have to say, it annoys me in everyday life, work, personal life, everywhere. It really, because I like to say, hey, come on, off, but
Yeah.
there's not such a thing.
Do you think
I
it's
remember.
do you think it's because you are, you are born in Kenya, you are you know you know drama. You know drama that, and now you go to a country which is not serving the drama, so it kind of throws you off because you're like, you are ready with your defenses as a Kenyan, but now you're like in that country where you're like, it's not even going to work.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Swiss people on the street solving a problem? No. Once we had a problem while I was doing a nursing master's, and our professor said, this problem of nursing, you guys need to be. It was a British lecturer who said,
Mm.
guys, you need to go on strike. And the Swiss people said, no, we never solve our problems on the street. And for sure, they never strike, they never go on the street. And recently, when there were some street demonstrations in Geneva, when Trump was about to, I don't know, come to
Yeah.
Switzerland, people demonstrated.
Yeah.
It was a big shame for Swiss people. All the Swiss people, like, and the people who did that, they were not Swiss. So, land, you don't do that. It's so neutral. It's so democratic. Something people don't tell you, like, hey guy, tomorrow you need to do this. No, it's like, maybe you could do that.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe.
so it comes off like, it's not like even like, just
Yeah.
tell me directly.
Yes. And I'm like, sometimes I feel like holding someone by the shoulders and say, hey, what do you mean? Do you mean that? Are you sucking me, or can I still come tomorrow?
Um, and I think I like that because then it also gives us now the perspectives of the things you really appreciate about home, especially now, because home we have that. We are, of course, we are a democracy, and even just expressing ourselves, going to the street is like something very easy. It comes effortlessly. Even my boss, when there's a protest, will say, in case you want to go participate in the protest, just take your leave. We are not going to be responsible in case anything happens. But which is very different than Switzerland for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, but when you compare also, like just looking at some of these pictures that were like on the screen, it's also a very beautiful country. Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
it looks like a magazine, like what was that like for you? Like, because Kenya, you are used to certain things that just make you like roll your eyes, from the airport to the streets. But it's also a country that is very organized, and even in terms of just the planning, how things look, it looks like my first time ever landing in Switzerland. I was going to London, and I think we were transiting through Zurich, and I think I was in Zurich for like about 2 hours. That did not look like a real place. It looked like a picture. Like I was like, this thing is so perfect. Like, how was that experience like for you? Just like seeing something different.
Yes, I was so fascinated, and I'm always fascinated, honestly speaking. It's
Yeah.
like, nowadays I know how to make differences between cities, and when I'm telling people, like Swiss people, the differences I see between cities, they are so interested. They find it so interesting, because then I really see things they don't see as locals. So it's so amazing. And for me, it's really one of, actually, I have never had never seen a beautiful place like that.
Mm.
It's like everywhere you go, it's like you haven't seen beauty until you go even farther. The farther you go, the more beautiful it even gets, and the more wild. You see, like what in one of these pictures you've shown,
Yeah.
I went very close to a glacier. It's
Wait, let me see that. Let me see that I can get. Is it the one where you're walking on the snow and stuff?
uh that was about, but I think you didn't see my face. I was in a cup looking over some mountains and something that looks grayish, rocky. That's a glacier. It's
Oh wait, this one at the end. Let me see. Let me see if I can bring it up.
yeah,
That
glacier.
one.
That's
Oops, sorry. To
uh,
go to the end. There we go.
no, this is no, this is somebody somewhere else. Actually, this picture, sorry, this one where I'm sitting looking over the ocean. That's in Madeira. That's sorry, you slipped into that. It's not Switzerland. That's Madeira. That's Ronaldo's place. So it's
Oh,
like it's mountainous. There are mountains and some grayish thing in the middle. That's a
yeah.
glacier. That's
Me, I
I
just
think.
love this, and even just the greenery in this one. But I'll get it and then I'll bring it up. Don't worry.
Yes, yeah. So, like I got very close to the world's biggest glacier in the world, I think.
Yeah.
It's, you get close and it's like so wild, and you wonder, is this, so that's deep in the mountains?
Yeah.
So the mountains are extremely beautiful. The flatlands are extremely beautiful. The lakes are so beautiful. The cities really, really beautiful. So um, this country is just, I think it's a very unique country. It's a very unique country in terms of beauty. People are nationalists, and I think being nationalists has helped restore and maintain this beauty.
Mm.
Because imagine, like, every person, like, and I've seen with so many different people, like, you try to throw something, let's say there are dustbin somewhere, and you throw something in a wrong one, a Swiss person would go literally and separate that waste. You know, it's like they are
Wow.
so nationalist and they take so much care of the country that is
That's the
so.
one.
Yes, this. So what I'm looking at, that thing is massive. That's a glacier.
Yeah.
Um, of course, my picture didn't show it very well. I have walked on it, but I this is the day I felt like I was dying. I was dying. I was gonna die.
You don't
Uh,
look like you're dying in this picture. It looks very beautiful and
I
sunny.
was actually, I went to this spot and
Yeah.
stayed in a cabin for like 3 days, hiking and acclimatizing
Yeah.
in order to go and walk over that glacier. And the day, so after 3 days, I went over the glacier. It's massive, On the other side, it's like it's so wild. You go there, and I think you're dead. And so um I didn't show it all, but on the third day of being in this area,
Yeah.
and this is a glacier lake, the glacier is
Oh
melting.
wow. When the thing melts.
Yes, it's melting. It's now reducing. It was so big, and now because of climate warming, it's reducing. But it's still the biggest glacier, I think, in the world. And
Wow.
the day I walked over a little bit, I knew I am dead. So that's the beauty of Switzerland. So the mountains are so immensely wild and rough and beautiful, and the flatlands are still very beautiful. So for me, I'm always fascinated, and I'm always looking forward to going to a new place because I'm always discovering something even better than I've seen somewhere else. So I think the Swiss people have to get their flowers. It's a beautiful country, and because of their nationalist nature, they really
Mhm.
take care of the country, and and they're very conscious about their country, like maintaining the beauty, maintaining also this environment. Like they are very much active against destroying the ecosystem.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah,
And I like
Did I?
that. I like that. John Parker says, "I love Switzerland. I hope to visit someday. I hope to visit someday." Firo
Thank
says, "Welcome, welcome, Firo." And once again, guys, we are multi-streaming. So in case you're on my channel and you've not yet connected to our guest, Rhee The Explorer,
you.
the link is pinned on top of my chat. It will throw you over to her channel so that you can be part of that community. You can learn everything about Switzerland and whatnot, and even more. There's more to Switzerland because she wears many hats, and we are going to start unpacking those hats, shortly, as we transition from the conversation in Switzerland. Um, Living abroad also, like, the realities, because I know it's Switzerland, so most likely, one of the things that stands out, of course, with you, you are female, you are black, from Africa. Was this ever an issue, especially because do you see, like, for lack of and I'm going to ask this as directly as I can ask, because
Mhm.
I know in Switzerland I will have to, like, go around the bush a lot, but did you meet people like you, people look like you, or were you like walking in the streets and you are like the center of attention?
Look, Goga, many times whenever I enter a lecture hall or any
Yeah.
hall, I
Yeah.
always look around for somebody who looks like me, and then I come back so frustrated because there's none. Um, so
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So in Switzerland, we have to know some facts. So the country has four language regions. So German, like 70% of the population live in the German speaking region, and then a little bit, I think about 50 or maybe 40 in the French region,
Mm.
others in the Italian region, and others in Romansh region. So imagine, oh, so much noise coming. I'm sorry. So in the French region, you can imagine there are many Africans who speak French, right? Like West
Yes.
Africans speak French, and so in that region you find some Africans, some people looking at like me because of the French and the West Africa. But German, no African country speaks German except Namibia, but that's something different, right?
Yes.
So there are no Africans who speak German. Therefore, it's very hard to find Africans in the German-speaking region of
Mm.
Switzerland. There are a few, maybe some doctors or bankers, those highly qualified professionals, but very isolated. So it was very hard for me to meet anybody looking like me. But eventually, I met a group of people who look like me, and unfortunately, there are some like girls who came from Mombasa, or someone doing some hair salon somewhere.
Yeah.
But I have to be honest, I have. It's very rare to meet a black person in the German-speaking area,
Mm.
just for the fact that there are a few sometimes. Once in a while, I see people looking like me on the streets. In school, at the university, oh my gosh, maybe I have made 2 or 3 marks in all
Mm.
these years that I've been in Swiss universities.
Wow.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much. So it's very hard, and as I said at the beginning, Switzerland never had colonies, and so it's really yeah. So this is a country that was never used to mixing. In fact, people tell me stories. There are just some cities where people tell me, oh, the first day they saw an African person, a black person, all the villagers came to see the person, and they gave the person the name. Yeah. So, and me personally, um, I I didn't. So before I went into class, before going to school, before I started working, I have to say, um, I was okay. I didn't experience any kind of discrimination, racism, or anything.
Yeah.
Because I think in school everybody wants students, and they are happy to have an exotic student like me. And of
Yes,
course,
it
they are
it
always
it
giving me. They
it
give
ticks
me.
the box for their inclusion.
Yes, yes, it ticks those boxes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I started working, I started experiencing some kind of discrimination and racism because people, in one place at one hospital, I was just told, some people, some Swiss nurses said, "Oh, so you have qualifications just like us?" And I said, "Yeah." "And so you've been allowed to work just like us?" And I said, "Yes." "Oh, you will have to prove yourself."
Wow.
Trust me, yes, I was told that. I worked for a little bit and I left because I don't believe that I have to prove myself. I'm just a human. And in some places, they said, "Oh, you don't need all those degrees to work here in Switzerland." And yeah, and so, and I was like, "Yeah, but you're not happy because you don't have those degrees." So I'm happy. I'm happy with them. So why not? And they were like, some people have told me that it's a trauma that I have to study because it's like a trauma. I didn't get the chance to study in my country, and that's why I study over there. But imagine those are people who, even given it for free, they wouldn't take.
They will not do
So
it exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And about color, Swiss people themselves, they very, 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 very cautious. They would do things that suggest they don't like you, they don't like your color. And of course, somebody telling me, "Oh, I know you are qualified, but can you take a job of like, let's say, yeah,
Oh, I see
like
that
that?"
that start also take a lower thing.
Yes, I
This
have been told so many times.
oh my goodness.
And somebody like a doctor or a patient comes and sees my color and says, "Oh, are you a cleaner?" Yeah, so many times I've been told that. And
Ouch.
I am always very, very, I'm conscious that these people have never seen people like this. And I don't know what kind of mental picture they have about Black people.
Yes. Yeah.
And just one very nice situation was I went to a room, and in the morning, you go to a room and you greet people and you say, "I'm so and so, and I'm your responsible person today." And before I say that, I greeted the person lying in bed, and she was like, "Oh, but can you please call me a nurse?" And I said, "Oh, but
I'm the nurse.
unfortunately, I'm responsible for you today." And she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I am so sorry. So many times I'm prepared for such kind of questions. I'm prepared that people will say, "Hey, prove yourself." And because I'm aware of that, I'm always never wanting to prove myself. And I'm always really approaching people with this
Like you
four.
already like 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 you already have your defenses on. So if it doesn't happen, well and good. If it happens, you're mentally ready for it.
Yes, and it's a very uncomfortable approach.
No,
It's really
but it's part of the coping, especially you're living
yes,
in a foreign land, so you have
yeah.
to find ways of just coping around
Mhm.
it.
Yes.
And that is very fascinating because does it
Mhm.
get lonely, especially, one of the things I think, one of the best experiences I think was I visited France some years back, and I was
Mhm.
walking in the streets of Paris, and so it was just me and my friends from Kenya, and we are the only, we were so distinct. We could stand out in the street, like everybody could tell these people don't belong here.
Mhm.
And when you see somebody who looks like you, a fellow black person, there's just an excitement you are getting.
Yes.
And then of course, until you speak to them and they're like, "Oh, I'm from West Africa." Now you're like, "Okay, now there's a language barrier here, but at least close enough. We are happy. Somebody looks like us. This is good. They're not from Kenya. It's okay, but we saw somebody with, somebody who is black and African closer to the continent." But does
Mhm.
it like get lonely for you? Like, I like the example you gave, like you walk into a lecture hall and you are looking around disappointed. It's like, here I am. Definitely, even when they're discussing you, they're saying, "Oh, the black girl." Because
Yeah.
literally that's how they'll describe you, because that's the first thing, that's the one thing that stands out, about you. So does
Yeah.
it get lonely? Does it get like do you eventually get used to it and just
Mhm.
navigate it?
Yes. Actually, sometimes it gets lonely, and it gets lonely. So when, like during work and also school, remember I told you that always people pair up. You always
Mm.
find two people, Swiss people. You'll never find one person on their own. Whenever
Yeah.
they are doing something, they pair up. So in school it's like that, and also at work you find somebody who has a very good and close person. They are always exchanging and confiding into this person and exchanging and sharing ideas and sharing doubts as well. Sometimes I find myself alone because, like, in school, like they look at you and they think, oh, this one might not be as smart as we are, and maybe we might waste time having her. Like, once we were taking a statistics course, and we needed to pair up, and I approached a group of people, like there were three, and I said, oh, can I please join you, because they were coming from near my city, and we
Yeah.
would be traveling together on the train, and discuss, like we always discuss things and do the assignments on the train before we reach home. And so I said, may I please join your group, because I think you come from the same place as I.
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh no, please no, oh no," because they and then another group, they said, "Oh well, okay." But then we got to know that they didn't want me there because they were not sure if I was capable of doing all those
Oh.
things, and it would be like a burden for them. And I would probably reduce their points, because sometimes we do group work. And the group that I joined, I ended up being the savior of this group, honestly. And we had
And
so much fun. And
yeah.
there's one picture you've shown. I'm in a group of ladies. I think they look much older.
Yes, let me get it. Yeah.
Yes, these old ladies. They are all older, and they are like my moms. And like some of them didn't know how to use the computer, others didn't know what the health statistics is and all these kind of things. And we had a great time, and we are great friends to this date, because I was their savior in that module.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
We
and
are
you know that and like that's a very good discussion point right there. Like as I try to get the picture.
yeah,
I think I just got it here. Let me just pull it up.
yeah,
When you are excelling,
yes, exactly
when,
this. Hmm.
yeah, when you are excelling abroad, because that's also that's we don't talk about a lot about that, because people underestimate you and then you end up becoming the most valuable player, unique as you stand. And I think I like one of the things. I think I was listening to, there's a time I think I was listening to Michelle Obama on one of her podcasts, and there's something she was saying about like when they got into power, there's a way they had to do certain things so that they don't get judged based on the lens of, like, you see, this what happens when you put black people there and things like that.
Yeah,
Um, and for them it was, and I like how she said it. It did not matter that they all went to Harvard. Can you imagine? Which is
much.
like already a big. That's already like a big deal for being an American. Like you went to Harvard. It did not
Yeah.
matter that they went to Harvard. It did not matter that they were lawyers and things like that. They had done a lot of grassroots work. It was all going back to like how they look, and
Much.
they were being judged from the lens of how they looked, and they were occupying the White House. And it
Wow.
was such a big deal that when they ended up, so for them, and I like how she said that they had to do a lot of proving, even though it
Yes.
was not necessary. They had to do a lot of proving people wrong from what they
Yeah.
expected, because they expected them to fail and things like that. And which takes me to like what you just said, that you ended up being the person that this group actually needs, because number one, you are from a foreign country. Number two, you are struggling to just settle into this country as well.
Hmm.
But number three, nobody understands that you left Kenya already educated. You just went to
Yeah.
pursue your further studies. So you are there, you are doing your master. So it's not like a first degree for you. And
Yeah.
you've studied under a lot of hardship because you had to raise school fees in Kenya. You had to do, you had to probably had to compete with your siblings because there are other competing family needs. When you land there, honestly, it is not fate. You actually mean business.
Yes.
So you actually mean business. So talk to me especially about how, like, for example, at work, because and we're going to discuss work generally. But talk to us about how, like, especially when you had to you get into a workplace setting. These are professional setup where people expect you to, they look at you, they already like there's already a prejudgment or a notion they have, like how you're going to deliver, and then you end up surprising them. You end up being the one who performs. You're performing, you're ticking your boxes, you're meeting your targets. How was that experience for you, especially when you think of one of the places you worked in Switzerland over the last 10
Yeah.
years, and even the boss getting surprised that you're able to deliver when they did not like expect so much?
Yes, honestly, Goga, I think you are so brilliant. You asked such kind of a question. I like that. Look, I went to a new place. I remember a place where they told me that, oh, you are just like us. You mean you have been allowed to work like us? You will have to
Yeah.
prove to us. I left. I left because I thought I didn't have to prove them. And I went to another hostel. I'm very proud to mention this hostel because it's really great. It's Hirslanden. Hirslanden, I think in South Africa, they call themselves Mediclinic International. So here's London. It's yeah, in Switzerland. So I went there, um, and normally before you are hired, you go for something called Schnupper tag. That's German. So a trial day. You can go work with the people just to try out to see if you like
Whether you
it.
like the place. Yeah.
Yes, but normally they wanna know if the staff like you, if you fall well in the dynamics, in the group dynamics. So it's more they judge you more than you judging, because if you go somewhere
Oh.
want a job, you really want the job. I don't go there to try and say, oh well, I just as a Kenyan, I don't do
I like
that.
that.
But they are actually like really judging you, like gauging you. Are you really fit for us? And I went to a place and they brought, like they are expecting this African, and when they are expecting somebody they don't know, like they don't know my culture, they don't know my education, they don't know me, they don't know how I would react. They
Yeah.
brought a huge guy, like a very tall and gigantic man, who was supervising me through the day, like during this trial day. And it's a whole shift. It's the whole day. You go there at 7 and you leave at 4 or something. But so I was there at 7, and at around 2 after lunch, I went to sit down with the boss. So then they give you some feedback, like how you performed, and also you also give them some feedback. And so this huge guy, first of all, he, like an old white man. There's this analogy, an
Yeah.
old white man. That's really something like very intimidating. So it was this intimidating figure that was supervising me. But I remember I arrived and there was a very complex patient,
Yeah.
a very complex old lady with complex medical conditions, medical problems. And they asked me on my first day something that is not supposed to happen. They asked me, oh, do you know how to insert a nasogastric tube? Like somebody with complex health problems and they cannot feed, they need a tube.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that. Oh yeah, yeah. I remember
yes.
that from a family member being in the ICU.
Yes. And none of the nurses, Swiss nurses and other nurses on the station was competent enough to do that, or they didn't feel competent enough to do that. And I said, oh, this person, in fact, I was the one saying, oh, but why can't you guys, this woman hasn't eaten, she looks weak. She has these swallowing problems. Why can't we insert a nasogastric tube? And they said, this man looks at me and said, can you do it? Because in the team, nobody had suggested it, nobody felt competent enough to do it. And I said, yeah, let's do it. And chuck.
Wow.
Yeah. For me, these are the things we do in Kenya. We did in Kenya. So
Naturally.
very naturally and even with more compassion because this is an
Yes.
old person. For me it's like my grandma, so even more compassion. And I didn't look at that woman like a patient, I looked at her like my own grandma who needs something in the stomach. So I did it with love and passion. Do you know I didn't finish my my probation, like that trial. I didn't finish. They gave me a job.
He's like, no, she's competent. Let's take her.
Yes. And from this day on, they asked me to help to write the guidelines, the protocols, like
Wow.
inside nasogastric tube, how to do, I don't know which procedure. So all these complicated clinical invasive things, they often asked me like to put IV lines if you need water in your body. They asked me, and I was just like, chuck.
I
I
know.
I'm used to black skin, so you don't have to see the vein to insert a needle inside. So and there they are white, and I can see the vein, so it's like heaven.
Easier because you can always break it out. And before let me allow. There's a lady here who is like shouting your name here like crazy. So I have to make sure that at least I give her the chance. She's here. I told you she'll pop in somewhere. I know she's been traveling back from Jamaica to get back home.
Mm.
Miss Titi herself is in the building, and she's saying, "My sister Rhee." Yeah.
Oh
Thank you.
wow! You
Thank you
see,
so much, Miss Titi. Yeah, we were just talking about you at the beginning, because you're the one who made the connect. I was thinking it's Helen who introduced, and then he's like, no, Miss Titi is the one who sent me to you, and that's how I got to know you. So thank you so much, Miss Titi. Please get. I know you are just coming from a very long flight. Please take your time. You can always catch the replay, and you can always just lie down in your bed as you like. Listen to Rhee. It's perfectly fine. And I like what Miss Bailey says. Miss Bailey says, because you stepped up, so many doors open. I like that analogy. I like that analogy.
Mhm.
And it's such a beautiful thing. Like you end up excelling, and then now people start seeing how significant you are.
Yeah,
Um, and let us discuss, because this is now your primary training. Like healthcare. You're the nurse. You have a nursing career.
mhm.
Um, and this takes us to the conversation around healthcare itself. And one of the stark differences I'm sure you picked up when you landed in Switzerland and started working was the stark differences between how healthcare is treated back at home and in Switzerland. What are some of the things you notice? Because I'm sure you've been in the space long enough, you've gotten the training, you've worked in different countries, especially within the continent. Africa compared to Europe when it comes to healthcare. What are some of the observations you made, especially as a nurse, considering you have to work with patients daily?
Yeah. There are stark differences between these countries. As I said, in Switzerland, people do things really, really exactly, like exact. And there are certain things one practitioner or one professional is not allowed to do alone. There are checks and balances, like
Mhm.
there are series of checks. So, for example, in Switzerland, if I were to take a patient to an operating theater, even if it's just to remove a small mole somewhere, I, as a nurse, would prepare the patient um, according to how the doctor prescribed. And then there's a form I would fill, really go through that form with the patient and ensure, and even draw, even make a mark where the patient's supposed to be. So on the body of the patient, I would make a mark where the operation has to be done. And on the form, there's a figure of the patient, a hypothetical patient. I would also mark the exact spot where the operation needs to be done. So me as a primary nurse, I do these first checks, and then as I take the patient to the theater, I am received by another nurse who does a second check. On the same sheet, there are four people who should check. So four columns. That nurse passes on the patient to another nurse who checks, and then to another doctor who checks. So
Wow.
before a knife is put on you, there are four professionals who have
Who
checked.
have
Yeah,
cross-checked?
imagine. And that is involving removal of a mole. And
Just as I'm sure that is something that you could have done very effortlessly.
in Kenya, honestly, honestly, what I see even today when I take my relatives to the hospital, the level of negligence. I think in Kenya, but also I've seen in other African countries,
Hmm,
we lose lives that we don't have to lose.
I
So
know. Oh my
for
God.
me, the level of negligence is grass. It's unbelievable between these two countries. Yeah.
Wow. You have a blessing that you need to acknowledge from Miss Titi. Miss Titi has
Oh
given you some
my
blessing.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my dear sister, darling sister. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Oh my gosh. Thank you
I
so
like
much.
Miss Chichi, thanks so much for the blessing, and I really appreciate you just making the time. And I know you know in between travel because oh my, I don't even know how you made it to the Sunday service, and I know you've been traveling back home. But thank you so much for the
Thank
blessing.
you.
All right,
Thank
and guys, if you have any question you want to ask Rhee, feel free to drop it on the chat. There's already a question that you've been asked by David Dant. What is your favorite color?
Oh my God. Also, black used to be my favorite color, but
I guess you gave me black vibes, by the way. There is a lot of black things going on in your pictures. I guessed in my head that it was black.
yes, I realize that in my life, depending on the, like there are like seasons in life, each
Yeah.
season is giving me a different color. So black has been my color, and I've seen lately that orange and pink and now currently beige, life has given me this color, like
Oh,
those seasons. Yeah, yeah, but my basic best color is black.
I like that. Okay, David, and you've been answered. I don't know, David. I don't know what you are trying to do with that question, especially after failing the okra test. Uh, but she has answered your question, David. She has answered your question. All right, and thanks so much, Miss Titi, for 12 months of trust. I don't take that for granted. I really appreciate the support, and thanks so much to all our super chatters. All of you have just joined in. All of you are connecting to Rhee. It's so nice to see you guys going there on her chat. Once again, the live stream is happening on both channels, and I'm glad that you guys are connecting to her as well. Yes, make sure you connect to her because she always has this amazing live stream where you like learn so many things because she just goes and she's one thing I like with Rhee is how she's very direct and honest. When you go to one of her live streams, you'll really be fascinated in terms of the conversations and even the experiences she freely shares about Switzerland and her stay there. So make sure you're connected to that house and make sure that you're part of that community. I've just put it on the screen. Hey, Boom family, welcome, welcome, Boom family, welcome, welcome. Boom is in the building. Uh, I almost said something and then I remember that Rhee is here and people. There are so many witnesses on the live stream. So boom, I will keep my receipts to myself. But please say hi to your beautiful daughter for me because that is the only person I like in that house. Boom, boom. Of course I like you, but of course I like your daughter more. Because of how that is the one person who humbles you like seriously in that house. But thanks so much, Boom family, for making it. Today, guys, we are discussing, we are having a conversation with Rhee the Explorer, all the way from Switzerland. But she's I have to remember this. She's a Kenyan Swiss. She's a Kenyan Swiss. So she
Mhm.
has two homes. Kenya is, of course, where she was born. Switzerland became her second home by choice. And we are just unpacking life in Switzerland and what it is like, what it feels like. And see, David Ant has given you a super chat. Let me tell you, David is just so David cannot be helped. Do you know? Let me give you some receipts. So yesterday evening, David sends you. David is one of the few people who has like a direct access to me. So David sends me a message. It is Saturday. It's a very quiet evening. Like nothing much is happening. I think I just come from yoga and things. So I see a text from David. David rarely sends a message unless there is something he wants to ask you. You wouldn't
Yeah.
believe what was the content of the message. And David's like, hey, Goga, I hope you're having an amazing weekend. I hope God gives you the grace to ask the correct questions to the host. I guess this is a Saturday. Like the man has other things he needs to be worrying about, and he's worried about whether the host tomorrow will answer about okra.
Honestly, I have okra. The last 3 days I've been eating okra, even for
Yeah.
breakfast and also for dinner, and I still have some okra left in my plate.
Yeah, so David, we love you. Kevin Worldwide TV, welcome, Kevin Worldwide TV. Nice to see you. Blessings right back to you, Kevin. Thanks so much for coming in, Kevin. I needed to make sure that I recognize that. Welcome, Kevin. And Kevin is saying hi to Boom. Let me see that I missed anything on the chat. Uh, yeah, thank you so much, guys, for that, and I appreciate. Blessings Titi from Joanne as well. I think that's everyone. If I missed anybody, don't worry. I will make sure that at least I pick it up. But thanks so much for the blessing. That was a great commercial break. Thanks so much, guys. Once again, it's a monetized channel, so we do appreciate the blessing. Hey, Cloud Diesel, my brother, all the way from the UK. Welcome, Cloud Diesel. Nelly, so nice to see you, Nelly. Nelly, you still owe me coffee. Thanks so much, Nelly, for popping in. And Diesel, my brother, is in the house. I hope the weather has become better. I saw Fluffy Diva on Friday, and she's no longer sweating. So I'm assuming the heat in the UK has gone down. She's no longer sweating. In fact, I think she looked like she was wearing something warm. I'm assuming that heat that was going to kill you guys is gone. Speaking of heat, Rhee, when you went
Hmm.
to Switzerland, there's a picture here where you're walking on snow. Let me
Yeah.
just, I'm just going to advertise my ignorance because this picture here, let me just, I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking
Mhm.
for a friend. This picture here,
Yeah.
hold on. First of all, let me start with you here because let me start here.
Yeah.
This is like a real thing. Like a car can be covered in that white thing.
Do you know your Goga? That
Yeah.
is that is even this is just an example of this is so little. This is so little.
What do you mean this is so
You
little?
know,
Like that car is covered in
that,
like a white powder or something.
yes, like around this time, that whole house was covered. When you come out of your house, you need a shovel, like to remove the snow from in front of your house to get out because it's like an igloo. Houses become like igloo. So this house is a little bit higher up in the mountain,
Yeah.
and it becomes like an igloo during winter. And the first times when I used to go to Switzerland, this used to amaze me so much. Nowadays, I am the most depressed person when it's like this. Imagine you need to go to work and you get up and you have to shovel the snow out of your door. And you can't imagine how many times I have fallen. And I just don't know when, thank goodness my nyash is protecting me from getting fractures. I would
she
have
did
had
not
hip
she did
fractures
not just
alone.
say that on us at the Sunday service, but I like how I told you she's funny. The Nyash cushions you between the fall and the
Yes, because I would have had fractures, really hip fractures so many times because you're sliding, you're falling, you're struggling with snow.
But
Oh my,
let me ask you, like I look at these pictures and I'm just like, you and I, you growing up in Kenya, knowing the heat here and the sea, we don't have these kind of crazy things going on in our
yeah,
country. How did
yeah,
you adjust to this weather? Like the weather in Europe, how did you like adjust to it?
yeah.
When you talk to your mother and your mother is asking you you are sending your mother pictures, does she
My
get
mother,
worried that you are in the fridge and things like that? Like how did you adjust to this crazy weather?
yeah, my mother never used to understand how I can do that. and how
Yeah.
a human being can still be human, how I could not have been dead in that place. She never understood. And at the beginning, it was so hard for me.
Yeah.
It was exciting, and then it became so hard. But nowadays, I got really special clothes, really special clothes. Like if in that picture, I have some snowshoes, like shoes that enable me walk on snow without falling on my ass, and 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 I have several layers. Like I have thermal clothes, those clothes that generate
Or
heat.
the titles that generates heat and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, under the body. So underneath, it's I'm really warm, like it doesn't feel like I'm in snow. But now the exposed parts like the hands and the lips and the ears, they pain like hell, like they are really burning from the cold and they're painful.
Yeah.
And so that really stresses me sometimes when the lips and the fingers and the ears are really painful because of the cold. But you get used to it. You get used to it. I'm now gotten used to it. But actually, I have seen that lately it's annoying me a lot, and that's why you would see me at around end of December, January in Nairobi. Like
Yeah.
last December, January, I got burnt because I came and I just was lying in the sun,
Oh,
like.
because you're like, oh my God, they stand here.
Yes, and I got burnt, and I still have the burns on my body still. Imagine from December, January, and now I'm here, and this is the reason I always escape. Like twice per year, I have to step on the soil here
Mm.
to be able to recover, like to gather some sun, some energy. And whenever I come, winter is starting in November, somewhere in November, and then
Yeah.
it gets worse in December. January is the worst. January, February are the worst months. And so I made a calculation that when I come here in January and I get the heat and the sun and the vibe,
Yeah.
it carries me through the whole month of January. And by the time I'm at the end of February, I still have the energy. So, really coming back home, coming back to Kenya gives me the fuel that I need to go to withstand
Yeah.
the winter. But I'm privileged, and I'm very grateful for that, because not everybody does that. I know people who go home only after 2 or 3 years, and I'm really privileged that I can come twice in a year.
I
And
like
that winter, honestly, Goga, you have to change something in your mind. And you know what is motivating me? I'm always like, yeah, I'm here, I'm gaining something. The money is good, the country is functional, things are smooth, I don't hustle. And so this helped me.
at least at least the motivation is there to like to suffer in this weather.
Yeah. Yes.
I had to ask about that. And going back to the conversation around healthcare, um,
Mm,
working directly with patients, especially as a nurse, and this does not need to be like Switzerland specific. It can be just now into your career. What is
mhm.
it about working directly with patients? What does it taught you about us as human beings that textbooks could never teach you? Because you work with people at their most vulnerable state. So I'm sure there are lessons right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, the power of intuition. The power of intuition.
Mm.
I started to learn that there are more to humans than what we know from the books. When I was in a country called Sierra Leone in Africa, in West Africa,
Oh
when
wow.
yeah, when patients, especially women who were in labor, about to give birth, whenever a woman was in labor for some time, and she said something like, "Oh no, I can't. I think I can't." Something was terribly wrong. Either the baby dies or the woman herself dies. And I started learning that even me, when I had a feeling that I don't know what it is clinically, I cannot tell you what is wrong with this person. but I feel I have to refer this person to the next superior place. And indeed, if I didn't do that, something bad would have happened. So the power of intuition and human connection, like whenever I am with patients anywhere, and I see it also in Switzerland, like whenever I feel something is terrible, like what I've noticed in Switzerland, especially with elderly patients, is that sometimes a patient falls, like they fall down. Falling is normal, right? But it's also an indicator of frailty, like they are frail and that's why they fall. Somebody falls, and when she or he finally gets up, they tell me, "Oh, I wanna die. I think
Wow.
it's gonna be. I'm not gonna be anymore here." Trust me. The next day, that person, I come and I find the person lying down, speechless, almost lifeless. So and intuition has helped me to respond to certain critical situations. So there's this human connection. When you connect authentically with someone, when you really love, like if you really love a patient and you really care for that person, and you really want to do something good, you will always feel if something wrong would happen. And if I see that, I don't really care so much about this person, I think they are fine. They are really fine, but I cannot tell you clinically what are the indicators of wellness or being fine. So I think that that's something that we don't learn in school. And in my PhD, I'm pursuing this feeling, this intuition,
Oh,
as
wow.
something that needs to be recognized as a competence for healthcare practitioners, because
New
it's,
knowledge.
yeah.
Knowledge.
And this has never been described in the books. So I'll be describing this thing for the first time actually in my PhD, that this intuition and creativity in dealing with people, even critically ill patients, it's really important. And it's not acknowledged. It's never described in books. So really, if I'm really close to somebody, I would know and I would feel that something might happen to that person. And so nowadays I trust intuition, and I think that it, health people, or it has to be brought into the same profession, like the nursing profession or the health professionals. They need to learn that competence. It's very important for the people we care for. I see
Being
it in Africa the same like I see it in Switzerland. So
being a
yeah.
nurse also just
Mhm.
it's also like one of those. I like the example you gave in terms of like one of your patients who say that they saw themselves not making it. But
Mhm.
also I am sure in in all the many years you've been a nurse, also losing patients is something that that has happened.
Mhm.
And let's say for example you had so much hope in patient X, and then tomorrow you come to work and you find that they're no longer,
Mhm.
they're not in their bed. Those things you see in movies, like the person from the night shift tells you that, oh, we lost them. What does
Mhm.
that do to you, especially because you're an introvert? Chances are high you are an empath as well. You feel things very deeply,
Yeah.
because introverts tend to also be empaths in a sense.
Mhm.
And the fact that you use intuition also means that I can see that feeling right there. It's all connected. You care so much about the human being and the human experience.
Mhm.
But losing patience, and sometimes you have to like be the one to break the news to their families, for example.
Mhm.
And these are people who are under your care. How do you navigate that? And I'm just asking that now from a very curious place because,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have to say that is the most difficult thing that I've had to deal with. Here in Kenya, or yeah, here in Kenya actually. In other parts of Africa, I started to have a different feeling. But when I was doing my basic training here in Kenya, you're trained like professionalism. If you a professional shouldn't show feelings,
Yeah.
like somebody dies and you are like, yeah, off the list and the next. So so I was trained, or rather health personnel are trained to have this uh, um, close and distance. You have to make a big distinction between closeness and distance. And many people lean towards being professional means having a distance and having no feelings. In my higher education, I've come to learn that actually we are all humans and very much connected, and feelings are very much valid, very much valid, so much so that nowadays, if I lose a patient, which has happened also very recently, I show
Oh,
my
sorry.
emotions. I show my emotions. I cry with the family. I cry several times. It's a bit difficult to let go of those people, but I know that I'm just human. I am that nurse, but the nurse actually is not I am. Actually, the nurse is something that I do, but it doesn't define me. I'm not that nurse. I am, at the end, I'm a human being, just like that person and that family that has lost someone. So I let my emotions go, and I know that I have to show my emotions. I have to let the emotions, if they are there, and I have also to keep up, and I have to go on for the sake of the
Yeah.
others. For the sake of the others. So I have come to learn, but this has happened with the more education, to be able to work on my feelings and to let them, because
Yeah.
otherwise if I oppress them the way I used to and the way we are trained to do, to not show them, it's very bad. It makes me a bad nurse. And to show my emotions, it makes me really a good one. And so I show my emotions, I grieve with the family. We even make really lasting bonds sometimes, even like we become family friends even after the loss. Um, and and then I know that I have to maintain myself well enough to be able to take care of the others that are there. So yeah,
Absolutely.
humans.
Yeah,
But
human
it's
beings.
mm,
Yeah. Like I imagine the difficulty because the training programs you to like look at a human life like it's just like a file or a record. I remember this when I used to work, and I used to be like somewhere in my profession. Let me not say so much details,
mhm.
because I'm bound by all these I'm bound by all these documents that I signed, so I can't discuss so much about it.
Yeah.
But there's somewhere along my profession where like I was taught never to show emotion
Wow.
because the
Mm.
disposition, if I showed even a single emotion, it will show the disposition of the institution, which was
Yeah.
not like part of the job. The job was, even if like a murder sentence is being pronounced, I have to like keep a very straight face, like I'm not shocked, um
Wow.
or even puzzled or anything. And there's something it did to me, and that's why like I think when the time came to leave, I needed to leave, because deep down I'm a human being. I feel things so deeply. I could feel, that pain of that woman who screamed. There's a woman who screamed so loudly. And
Yeah.
anytime, I've never forgotten that scream, and it's been over 10 years. It was a scream of
Wow.
pain. It was a scream of, there's just something about that woman's scream that I've never forgotten 10 years in.
Imagine.
And
Hmm.
it reminded me I'm a human being, as you are saying, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
and and I think I say that I always have to remember that I'm a human being first. I'm not just moving records or files. I don't look at things as files. So I think I resonate with what you said about that. And
Mm.
just as a nurse, after all these years of experience, what is that? How has the profession made you like personally think about health? Because I know the idea that I may have of health as a lay person may not be the same idea, that, because you do this as a job every day.
Mhm.
But how has this made you like think about healthcare generally, and even just how we look at our health as human beings?
Yeah. I always say, and I will always say that I think health is the best thing that you can have.
Mm.
Other than wealth and other things, I think health. And the WHO's definition of health is is very good. So it doesn't really necessarily mean that um, being healthy, you don't have any health or medical or bodily challenges.
Yeah.
It just means that you are holistically healthy, like mentally, physically, and all that, yeah, the whole human. So for
Mm.
me, I think that being healthy and being aware that you are healthy comes with all these, the definition of health. So the absence of disease, maybe, because if you have a disease or a dysfunction, you may not be healthy. But let's say you're holistically well, you don't have disease, but you're also healthy in your ecosystem. I mean, you have good relations, you have good people around you, you have good thoughts about people around you. um, and so for me, I look at healthy being me being without disease, being completely functional, um, and having a good clear mind, thinking good things about others, and really wishing well for the people around. For me, that's health. And it's the best thing that I feel, in my opinion, is the best thing that you can have, even other than wealth. Because I look at people, honestly, I look at people, for example, let's say, okay, I don't want to mention names, but I was just going to mention somebody. You would even laugh if I mentioned his name. Starts with A. So somebody has a really huge tummy. He can hardly touch his feet. He has a lot of money, eating so well, a lot of money, a lot of people around, but they are full of scandals. They are full of yeah, they are doing a lot of bad stuff to other people. They are not sharing their wealth. They are not like considering others. But then you find them wasting a lot of money in the hospital because they have to treat something. Then this thing is related to how they live their life. They are not healthy. So they have a dirty mind. They have some physical illness and all that. So they waste a lot of money at the hospital. I always tell people, please live well, be mindful enough, eat healthy, have a clear mind, be mindful enough that you should live your life well outside of a prison and outside of a hospital. Because if you're in a prison, you won't enjoy your life, your health, or your life. And if you are in hospital, really, it's not the best thing. You might think that you have money to pay, but it's not the best thing to have a disease in your body and that you have to go to the hospital, that you have to waste your money to go. So I look at health really like health is really being at peace with yourself and with the surrounding, with the people, with the things around you, and not necessarily having to get out of your body to get treatment somewhere or
Yes.
anything like that. Yeah.
And that will just wrap up the conversation around health, especially now based on your experience, because you've been in Switzerland for like over 10 years. You also
Hmm.
worked a lot around Africa, especially countries like those countries that especially like don't have like the best healthcare.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know now, because you've also accumulated now some very serious international experience. So knowing what you know now, what are some of the things that you would change? Because I know one of the things that is really at your heart is making sure that the knowledge you build like a wellness base, and
Hmm.
and I think there's something you keep saying even on your channel that you want to do this at home. You're not saying you want to do it there in Switzerland. You're saying you want to do it at home. Meaning there is
Hmm.
something that you've noticed, there's a gap you have seen in the continent or in the country that you feel
Hmm.
that you can feel based on your experience. as a nurse who has had all these international experiences, including working for world-class countries like Switzerland, where healthcare is like they've got kind of their act together, what are some of the things we need to change, especially around healthcare as a country, and or even as a continent, in case the country is very, a bit too small?
Hmm. Yeah, I have been actually thinking about that, and today I was at a meeting with some people who were doing great things in Kenya, changing the healthcare system, and I was talking with them and asking them like, what do you think are the gaps here, just to see whether they see the same things like what I see. I think the first thing that I would want to change, hypothetically, is to center the people, like in the health, within the healthcare systems, really to be person centered, like person centered, and not, if we are as a health system person centered, we would listen to the people and their surrounding or their social networks, what is important for them. And I have a feeling that a patient, to be a patient in a Kenyan healthcare system or in an African healthcare system, you are like a beggar going to beg in a place that you are not wanted. Yeah,
Wow.
really. And I think that if we start looking, if I would change something, I would change, I would direct that everybody looks at the patient as, or the person as really the person who knows best their problem, who knows best their health issue, and the people around that person, like really important people that can contribute into the care of that person, and center the care around the person, and not really about who should make the biggest profit out of that one patient. And I hate to call people patients. I'd rather call them people, because they are people anyway. And if we reduce them to patients, that's why we treat them like you know what I mean. I don't want to say
Yeah.
that word, like share. And so I would change that. Look, be person centered, and really respond with compassion and care to those people coming to the healthcare system to seek help. For heaven's sake, those people are queens and kings. They know their problems better than we do as medical people. And I think that there are so many, in any corner you look at, there are so many issues that we might change, we can change or even solve. I would also try to bring in some things I've learned in the international space, like people don't have to necessarily always go to the hospital. Imagine your grandma, who has, or anybody in a family who has, let's say, cancer, and we all know that this person will not survive, right?
Mm.
Even with chemotherapy, the person will not survive, but we send them to the hospital anyway, so that, and then they end up dying at the hospital. Do you know one thing I've learned? That really, people who are at the end of life, for people, it's very nice, it's so beautiful for them to be with family, for people to be around them. And we know that for conditions that don't necessarily benefit from the healthcare system, we are milking, the healthcare systems are milking money out of people for nothing. And a dying person is a dying person. So please, if as soon as you recognize that this person will not be assisted by chemo or whatever healthcare interventions that we do, let them stay in the family, and let that person be surrounded by family, but prevent suffering. You can prevent suffering by sending mobile teams there to that family to assist with alleviating pain. That, like, comfort the person, console the family, reduce the pain for the dying person. So those are the things I would change, like reduce unnecessary deaths in the hospital. Imagine dying away from your home and all the costs and the drama that surrounds that. These I would change. And there are really specific health issues. And actually, from today's meeting with these people who are doing great things in Kenya, I ended up, I will just spill the beans here. I ended up with an idea that I'm gonna change, just try to change just one thing in the healthcare system, or try to do my own interventions to impact a certain area of the healthcare system. We are venturing into um, helping people that have sickle cell disease. This is a decision we made today, that like, I'm explorer and I've been exploring many ideas, and
Yes.
even that wellness thing. So so we're going to venture into wellness. Like, people have to have fun even if they are sick, even if they are learning. So some kind of wellness package we will provide to people, but also we are going to try to solve a problem, or to help people who are affected by sickle cell disease, um, because this is mainly affecting people in Western Kenya. And by the way, that disease only affects African people, no Africans and Black Americans. It doesn't affect white people, and so it's a neglected disease, sickle cell. But I think that you have probably heard of somebody who has sickle cell, right? And
I
so this
actually
is
lost. Yeah.
a lot
My
of people.
my cousin actually, from my mom's sister, actually died so young. Lost his
Yes,
dad, and he lost his dad, and we lost him. So it's
yeah.
very close to home.
So it's like many families are affected, but you don't hear about that, and there's a gap in that. So for the first time in my life, I'm gonna focus on one thing, not like my YouTube channel where I'm doing this and that, and we're gonna work on that. So like, this is now going to be my niche in the Kenyan health system. Like, I will do my part in the Kenyan health system by helping people affected by this disease. Of course, in future we'll venture into other things, but this is the key thing that I think that we can change.
I like
um
that. And that's a great
yes,
segue into the wellness, because one of the biggest ambitions you have is to get establish like a wellness retreat within, especially back at home.
yes,
What was the inspiration behind this? Because I can see already even intentionally having meetings that they're pushing you towards that direction.
yeah,
Why a wellness retreat? Because I think when I think of wellness, a wellness retreat, I'm thinking of how holistic it is, even beyond just hospitals. It is the food people are eating, it is the exercises, it is like their mental well-being, just the state of their mind. Why a wellness retreat, and why is this like a very passionate thing for you to like pursue in the long run?
yeah. That's really, I'm very passionate about wellness, because I think that, as I say, that being healthy, you really need to be holistically healthy. And I think that wellness for me defines health. Like, so you said it correctly. I'm thinking about a mix of so so I need people to do exercises. I need people, exercise, intentional exercises to prevent diseases, like
Yeah.
metabolic diabetes, hypertension, and all this. Because I've seen uh, people even just walking for like 5 minutes, or let's say 10 minutes every day, a person can reverse their hypertension, even diabetes. So intentional exercising and intentional um, living well, like eating healthy. So it will be a mix of coachings, seminars, like retreats. I know that students all over the world, they often need that. They are very stressed, just like me. And so offering something like a retreat, a wellness retreat, whereby students, or even normal people, healthy people, or even patients who have been patients for some place somewhere, a place where they can come for retreat, a retreat, a health retreat. And I'm looking at people come to this retreat and learn how to eat healthy, learn how to prevent disease, learn even experience eating a healthy diet. Like, I will juice, I will provide people with juice, I will provide people with fasting, I will
Yeah.
provide people with information. I will try people, like put them on a treadmill and run and exercise, and just say that for 2 weeks you come to my retreat, you go back a different person, a healthy person, like transform people. So I'm looking at something like this. And so that's the wellness part, which is also associated to health. So it's a wellness that prevents health, that prevents disease. So it's disease prevention wellness I'm looking into. And I'm very passionate about this. These plans are underway. And this would be like the phase two of the project, because immediately I'm going to venture into this sickle cell disease, because I think that almost everybody you talk to has been affected, and I think for me this is urgent. I will
Yeah.
start by this and then into that wellness. So for me, I really love wellness. Wellness is what has made me like this, and wellness.
You look
Um,
amazing, by the way, and the skin is glowing. And I know your skincare is one of the things you really are very passionate about as well. Acne, you know, that glow I know has a lot of wellness behind it.
Yes, and like I'm into juicing and eating healthy and all these kind of things. And I think I know a lot, and I would like to help people. In my
Yeah,
village, if you went to my village, almost everybody is obese. Almost everybody has hypertension. People die of heart diseases, and people have diabetes. And so I just want to change that. I want to help people. And in Kenya, it's not so easy. If you live in the village, it's not so easy to find a place like to go jogging or
yeah.
to do any kind of exercises. So I just want to provide this opportunity for people to be able to experience that and transform their health and their lives.
I like this. It's a very novel. I was trying to get a picture of you exercising, uh, and even the food you eat. Because I even studied your plate, by the way. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is you lifting weights and things. You look amazing by the way in this picture, and I noticed you do a lot of there's a lot of exercising. The glow on the skin. There's that picture where you are lying on the grass.
Yeah.
Eh, that picture is giving freedom. It's giving I'm very content where I am, and it's giving like I'm living intentionally, and I love my skin, and I love how comfortable I look in it. Like it just looks very it's a very beautiful picture.
Oh,
and
thank
and you know there is also like the conversation, not just one of the things that also stands out on your channel. And auntie, thank you so much. Auntie is like giving you a shout out on the chat there. Thank you so much, Mrs. G, your favorite auntie. Thank you so much for that.
thank
One of
you.
the other things that you also do on your channel is that you're not shy to get into topics such as not just uh, reproductive health, not just certain health issues. You actually foster that kind of environment where you want to discuss those topics that people sometimes find difficult or even embarrassing to talk about. And for me, I look at that in terms of you are the professional here. And one, you're also like disseminating information that YouTube can also treat as very people don't like. YouTube does not like people discussing health information unless they are professionals for it. um how do you balance this, especially because one thing you're trying to like share information that is very pertinent to the people, but also you are trying to exercise you are trying to make sure that you are scientifically responsible for some of the information you share. How do you like find that, because one of the things I know you'll never get into problems with, you are the professional. So yeah, you are a certified nurse. Whatever you speak about is something that comes from what you know. You have gone through training. But also, how do you exercise like now the because you're sharing information. It's a learning hub per se. It's called Rhee The Explorer. It's also a learning hub that also helps you like unpack health information that may be very important for your community. How do you like navigate that disseminating information? Because I think it's also part of the wellness conversation, putting that
Yes.
information out there.
Yeah, you know, I'm very, very passionate about health topics, and
Yeah.
actually, I'm just a health fanatic. Also, I live like this, and my friends call me like a maniac, a health maniac. So for
Yeah.
me, it's just it's natural, and I think it's also related to professional authority. You know, like I think that I know my profession so well, and the things I speak about, I know them so well, and I can judge. I can make a professional judgment, like how far I can get into something, and what I'm professionally, or what my profession, like the nursing profession, allows me to, how far it allows me to go. And when you see in most of my videos, whenever I'm discussing a health topic, I am always having a disclaimer, like to be safe on YouTube, because I know whether I'm a nurse, a certified nurse, practitioner, or something. For YouTube, that's not relevant.
Yeah.
I need to adhere to the guidelines, YouTube's guidelines, and I always do a disclaimer, because really, I do not want people to take my advice as real truth, absolute,
Yes.
and go by it. I'm not a consulting doctor, and
Yeah.
each person has their own doctor, has their own practicing nurse, and I'm not that person. And so for me, it's, I take it like entertainment, and I always remember to put a disclaimer whenever I speak of such kind of things. And really, what comes out of my mouth, I think I have enough professional judgment to know
Mhm.
exactly my limits. I think that's what makes a difference. I know my limits. There are certain things I will never ever recommend or discuss about. I'm very careful. I think it just is, or and it comes with experience and education,
Yeah.
to have that professional judgment. And so I feel very comfortable because I know my limits.
Right. And there are some ladies there who are asking the skincare routine. Chef Z Kitchen is like, Rhee, please share the skincare routine. Some of us want to look glowing like this. The face is looking smooth and nice. What are the secrets? What do we need to do?
The secret is in your kitchen. It's not in the shop or in the chemist. It's in your kitchen.
Wow.
Honestly. Yes, and I'm gonna make a video. I know that some people have been telling me, please show us your full routine. And really,
Yeah.
what brings the glow? So, first of all, I will never tell anyone, I will never cheat, I will never lie, that it
The good thing
lasts.
she's a chef. So when you say kitchen, she's probably standing in the kitchen waiting.
Chef Z's kitchen. You see, she
Yeah.
also glows. Yeah. So really, the things are in your kitchen. So first of all, what you eat. I think what you eat gives you a glow or not. So that healthy eating is the foundation. Vegetables, salads, fruits, and healthy eating. A lot of water. But really, the things that I said are in your kitchen. Do you know I put really simple things on my skin. In the morning, you find me take coffee powder, just coffee, ground coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee. You have coffee, you have olive oil, you have honey, you have yogurt, and you have lemon. You see, all these things are in your fridge and in your kitchen.
That's
Uh,
breakfast.
that's skincare.
Oh wait. We are okay.
Yes, I do take as a little spoon of coffee, ground coffee in my palm.
Yeah.
And I add yogurt, a spoon of yogurt, plain yogurt. And I add a drop of olive oil, and I squeeze a lemon in it and honey, and I mix it in my palm, and I scrub my face. You will have the best glow in your life, honestly. I don't
Wow.
lie. It's nothing but. Yeah. And then I wash it off after 5 minutes, and I put my moisturizer on. Really, that's a secret of glowing skin. Nothing else.
What about what you eat? Because I know I like what you said also in terms of even what you eat. You said you like juicing a lot. It also
Yeah.
means you probably hydrate a lot. You probably drink a lot of water.
Yes.
Yeah. What are some of the tips, especially around now what goes inside the body?
Yeah, because you can never change the outside alone. I think what goes inside the body is what determines like 90% of what
What
how your
people see.
skin looks. Yeah.
Yes.
So really, drinking a lot of water, juicing. People think that taking a lot of fruit and juices is putting a lot of sugar in your body. Those things have sugar, but there is a reason those things are here for us and they are plants for us to eat. I
Yeah.
eat a lot of fruit. If like that mountain of ugali that Luya people eat, that whole mountain of ugali, for
Yeah.
me it's fruit and salad. Really vegetables. I eat raw sukuma wiki. I eat raw how is it called? Managu. So all
Oh
those things,
wow.
yeah. Yes, I eat a lot of raw stuff. So I eat a lot of things just like a god. So eat a lot of salads, whatever salad, even I discovered that kale, so sukuma wiki is very good salad, makes very good salad. So
Yeah.
eating salad and a lot of fruit and a lot of water, trust me, oh, this is the medicine for the skin, for the mind, for everything. So that's what you put inside, and so when I have so much vegetables in my garden, like
Mm.
kale and other leaves, and I have a lot of cucumbers and gourgettes and all those vegetables. So if they're too much for me to eat at once, I juice them, and then I can drink like buckets and buckets of juice the whole day. So really, that's a secret. So start by putting good things in your body. Eat good stuff. I eat very little meat, by the way. I eat a lot of chicken and fish, and very little meat, red meat, and other things. And I love white wine, and sometimes red wine.
Ooh. Okay. Girl loves. I saw a wine picture that was sneaked into the slides. There was some wine that was sneaked into the pictures. I was like, why are we getting these pictures of the wine and the food? But clearly now the point is home. Uh,
Yes,
Great, great, great conversation here. And I know we are already past 2.5 hours. I know that we still have like time, but don't worry, I'm getting into that's how interesting this conversation is.
yeah,
Um, your PhD journey. And I'm going to go back to what some people are like saying when they saw you in that office and they're like, why are you getting all these degrees and stuff like that? I mean,
yeah,
you're already a nurse, you're already creating like health education content, you already want to build a wellness retreat in Kenya. You're pursuing a PhD. Where does this hunger for knowledge come from? Like a PhD is like, and I like what you said. You're trying to, of course, a PhD is like you are adding, you're adding something new into the body of knowledge, and for you, it is like how intuition can also like inform some of the decisions that are made within the healthcare space. Why did you decide to do a PhD? Oh my goodness! And
yeah.
I'm, and I'm sure your family people are looking at you like, those are this girl, there is something wrong with her.
Yes. First of all, I am an explorer. I love exploring, and I just wanted to explore the highest degree that one can get. Really,
Wow.
so easily and simply like that. I didn't have a goal doing the PhD, but I grew up in a family where education was like sacrosanct. So they pushed us. Our parents pushed us
Guys, did you hear
to.
that vocabulary? Did you hear that vocabulary that was used? PhD people. Guys, did you hear? Helen, have you ever heard of that vocabulary? Sacrosanct. Helen, there is a vocabulary there because you're always accusing me of using difficult words. Eh? Sacrosanct. Anyway, just kidding.
So, my elder sister, she's much older. There are four people. Four. I'm the fifth born, and my
Oh,
elder
wow.
sister is still studying. Imagine. So anyway, that's a long story. So my mom, if my mom could be here, You know, there was a time I had a crisis in my PhD journey, and I went to a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and I was complaining and saying, "Oh my gosh, I have so many doubts. Shall I drop out?" And she asked me one question: "If your mom was here, what would she tell you?" And this cleared my doubt.
Everything.
Everything my mom could say, "Go, go, go, study, never stop, never ever stop studying." So,
I love that shrink. I love
yes.
that shrink.
Mhm. So really, I like exploring. I wanted really to explore the highest degree one can get, really without goals. People ask me, "What's your goal?" And I have no goal. But now, and also because of that family trauma that we were pushed to study, and my mom could say, "Go, go, 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 study, study," and all that.
Mm,
But now I know that I was chasing something. I wanted to change something. You know, like when your education should really bring something, a contribution to society. You know, like change society or try to bring something back into society. And it's only at this point of PhD that I've had these ideas very come very clearly. You know, a
mm.
long time ago, when I was still 25, I tried to open an NGO, but I think it was just I think I would have messed it up a big deal. So, so I think this is the time that it's come very clearly that I really need to do something for society, and I need to do this and that and that. And thanks to the PhD, it has opened my eyes, and I've known with the PhD that really there is so much that you can never know. I know now that I know nothing.
And isn't that the ultimate beauty of knowledge? Like you go all that route and then you realize there's just so much knowledge in this world, and you'll never
Yeah.
get all of it, and that's just the reality of it.
Yes. And
So you
then it just tells me that I should stop chasing it, and I should just now act.
and focus on that one thing and excel in that one thing. What has been
Yes.
what has been, especially, you are a woman, number one. You
Yeah.
are doing a PhD. Very soon we are going to be calling. I don't know that you have already. Do I start calling you doctor yet, or I
Not
wait?
yet. Not yet.
Okay,
After
just checking.
January.
Just checking. It's important for my bragging rights so that I can say I know some PhD somewhere. Um, it's important. You know the PhD is not for you. It's for us in the community. We have to know, guys. Do you know my sister is a doctor? Anyway, I digress.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things, at least I know, it cannot be easy. Especially number one, you're a woman. You're doing a PhD and you're studying abroad. That comes with a certain discipline. you are
Mm-hmm.
also an you are also a nurse. You have to go to work to make money. You have to get money you have to travel because you like exploring the world, because clearly, how do you balance all these things, and what has been the most difficult part of this PhD journey?
Oh, very nice that you asked that. Um, I was just complaining today to friends, the friends I went to meet, actually friends and some other people, that I get so overwhelmed, and
Yeah.
I've been advising my niece who is here with me that she should never ever do a PhD in the same way I've done. If she wants to do it, she should do it with 25 years old, at 25 years old,
Yeah.
not later. And so, really, it's been very tough balancing work and PhD and social life. Is the hardest thing that I've ever put myself into, I must say. And there are many times I have fallen into crisis, like I've had many PhD crises.
Yeah.
Apparently, many people get into this kind of crisis. I have been in so many. I have to really, if I have to mentor somebody who is studying, I can be the best mentor now because I've
Yeah.
gone through a lot of crisis, and my problem has been to keep up that level of that Swissness, the
Yeah.
Swissness of being exact, and starting my days at 7 or even sometimes at 6. Yes, I sleep on the table working up to around 2, and then I
Yeah.
cannot wake up at 7 in the morning. So I'm a night person, by the way, so I work more efficiently later in the night than early in the morning. But Swiss people, if you're not working early in the morning, then you're lazy, they say. So for me, it's really a PhD, really earning a PhD. Maybe for some people it's easy. For me, it's not easy, and I think it is the hardest thing that one can get themselves into. I don't say that it's not doable. It's really very doable. If I did it, anyone can do it. But it's the hardest thing that one can get themselves into. So I start to advise people, do it when you're 25 years, because you don't care, you are reckless, and you don't care if you fail today the exam or not.
But on this one, I have to disagree with you. Do you think a 25-year-old is? Do you think a 25-year-old cares about like extending the boundaries of knowledge? Or let me tell you, when I was in my 23, I was jumping on top of tables and things like that. And you know, I wasn't. Life was so easy. I miss the days I was 25, honestly, or 23, because there was just like a whole world ahead of me, and then adulting happened. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. You have a job, you have decisions to make. There are people, family members who are looking at you to like make a like, I want
Goga,
to say hats off. Hats
Goga,
off.
in Europe, if
Yeah,
you do your PhD at 30 years, you
yeah.
start your PhD with 30 years, you are a geriatric PhD student. And I am a geriatric PhD student because Swiss people and Europeans, they do their PhDs from 25, between 25 and 29, they're about. Those people, their lives are arranged like this.
But
Trust me. But
but
us,
but again, they also have the opportunities because I mean, and this is going to be a nice question for me to ask. If you
yeah,
compare, like, let's just say hypothetically speaking, you never went to Switzerland, you never
yeah,
became a Swiss citizen
yeah,
of 10 years.
yeah,
Hypothetically, let's say you never had this opportunity. Do you think you'd have actually done a PhD had you stayed in Kenya?
never. First of all, I would
There you
never
go.
have afforded it. And really, secondly, if I were just a Kenyan, all the societal pressures, get
Yes.
married, kids, and be a wife, a good wife, and all that.
Yeah.
I would never, for many reasons, I would never have afforded to do a PhD in Kenya. Never.
There you go.
Honestly. Yeah.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
So I think,
So,
and I think that tells you, for me, I think when I studied abroad, when I did my second degree, for example, that's one of the things I had to make peace with because even when I was when I get the opportunity to go and do that degree, and I kept on second guessing myself, and my mentor told me one question that I think my mentor asked me one question. He's like, if you don't take this opportunity, time will still fly anyway, and
yeah.
then 2 years the program is only 2 years. You only need to be out of this country for 2 freaking years. Nothing will change, nothing magical is going to happen. So what is, can you weigh your options? Is it better to have a second degree after 2 years, or you'll just be with us here and we'll be talking after 2 years? You just decided to stay. And I think I needed that kind of reality check at that particular point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, go you, and I'm just glad that that you because you're now setting the stage for now all these other people that maybe may can actually do it like when they're younger. And that I like what you say, that you had to go and see a psychologist, and the psychologist asked you, what would your mother say? Oh my, I love that shrink. I love that shrink. And that will be my question for you as well. Now I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
What will you tell somebody who's listening to us in this conversation, who feels that they are too old or they are too late to go back to school? Because for you, going back to school has never been like, even just making that decision to go and do your master's in Switzerland back in the day. I'm sure it was not an easy decision, but you said, I'm going to commit and I'm going to do this. So in case
Yes.
somebody is second guessing their age, they're second guessing their time, what would you tell them?
Do you know we limit ourselves? I would tell that person really to see, to like observe that thing that is limiting him or her, because there's a certain thing behind this person, behind that person, that is
Yeah.
limiting them, and that thing is really, that's something that can easily strangle that person. And so there is no age limit. Do you know, um, in all these lecture halls that I have been,
Yeah.
there are, even currently in my PhD program, there's like two retired men doing a PhD, and
Yeah.
there are quite a few, like 50-year-old, um, 45-year-old, 50, even 60, and retired, as I told you,
Yes.
um, who are still doing a PhD. So for me, I would say never ever let age limit you, or I'm too old, or for whatever reason I cannot do it. Never, because if you say that there's something really behind you which you need to work on, that is limiting you, and that thing must be limiting you in other areas of your life, and please be aware of that thing and really smash that thing out of you. There's no age limit. I have been to Europe, and I've been really to, the PhD has taken me to many other countries and in many halls, and I've seen very old people pursuing a PhD just out of passion, or it was their dream, but they had kids, and the kids prevented them from doing it, and now the kids are older, and then they continue to pursue their dream. So there's no age limit, and please do it. It's the best thing you can do, I tell you. It has changed me, even though I was confused along the way. It
Yeah.
has changed me, it has changed my thinking, and it has given me clear, um clear, like, ideas what I need to do in life and in the lives of others. And so it's a good thing. It's hard. It's very good. Never let age limit you from doing anything. And if it's a woman, like I always tell women, I'm sorry, Goga had to say it on your channel.
Please.
I would say there is, I wouldn't say this on your channel, but if it's a woman, men, they are lucky because they can postpone everything, like those social responsibilities. They can do them at any point in their life. Women, they have a biological clock. They have this biological clock which is real, and so there are so many strategies that there are so many things those women can do to postpone, or rather to go about that clock and to pursue their PhD dreams. So please go for it. I can't
Love that.
wait to, yeah,
Yeah.
really,
But
I can't wait to start coaching people about how they can postpone
I
everything and do the PhDs
and
and
and I, no, and for me, I like those kind of conversations because one of the things I respect women by the for that, my own mother literally abandoned her further education plans because she had me. And
mm,
she had been bought for a ticket, and she gets that like revelation that it totally changed all her plans and things like that. So for me, I always say anybody who can get that opportunity to just like get the highest level of education you can always get, by all means take it. And
yes,
let's talk about the rooms that higher education places you in. You make certain decisions in places that people will never know. You influence things that go into policy work and things like that. Let's talk about that, the unseen, the hidden cost of success, because there are certain things I'm sure, Rhee, that there are certain benefits that you get because of higher education. There are
yes,
certain rooms that higher education has put you in. I like the example you gave that there are certain countries that higher education has made you access certain countries. Talk to us about some of these other, because people don't see them when you're grinding, but then eventually they start like paying off, and you're like, oh yeah, they definitely needed my brains in this room.
yeah.
Yeah.
Having them. invited as a keynote speaker in
Yeah.
many conferences around the world. Actually, within Europe. I haven't been outside of Europe, but
Wow.
within Asia.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like a keynote speaker. And I tell you, I've been a keynote speaker at a conference in Sweden once.
Wow.
And me, honestly, as you said, the cost of success. There is also another part where I am anxious, Like I know what I'm gonna talk about. I know it's my topic. People trust in me, and that's why they asked me to be a keynote speaker. But then that thing, that thing that limits
That
us.
the
Yeah,
imposter syndrome. You're like you don't think that you're worthy
why
to tell
me?
them. Yeah.
Yeah, why me? Why couldn't they ask me to do it with so and so? Why couldn't they ask so and so?
Yes.
I lament until I finish my presentation. And when people clap, I come down and say, "Oh my gosh,
You
it's
know.
I was invited in this room."
You are the
So
person they needed to hear. Exactly.
yes, and I've been really like it really terrifies me the many times that I've been invited to speak. I speak a lot, by the way, at conferences, international conferences, with people from all over the world. And Europe is Europe. You go to a conference room and it looks like a football pitch, like those where people, like a World Cup stadium or something.
Yeah.
And me, a small person like me, I ask myself, I always remember I come from Bungoma in that village, and I'm here in this European country, in this huge the conference room, standing here talking to these people. Did they mistake? Did they make a
Yeah.
mistake to invite me? But then at the end, I'm like, yeah, it is this education that has brought me here. Otherwise, I would never have stepped in this room. So it's really worth it. It's really worth it. And I would love for everybody who has the opportunity. And by the way, here in Africa, education is like gold.
Mm.
Only the rich can get it. In Europe, it's like nobody wants it and it's free. It's free.
Talk about you taking advantage of that opportunity and stuff. And I think I like what you said about that imposter syndrome and
Mm,
how you finally do something and you feel like you're deserving of being in that room. And I think I can totally relate to that because sometimes I think anytime I notice that is happening and I'm like, it reminds me that it is good you decided to pursue higher education as an African because that is
yeah,
what that now becomes the equalizer because and that is what now makes you access certain things, especially coming from this part of the world. And sometimes it's fascinating. Yes, there's a time I think I was in a meeting and then I don't know, my boss was looking at me to make a decision. And then at some point I think I wasn't like because he's in the room, I'm like, oh, why should I like worry? I mean, you're the
yeah.
boss. And then so I did not notice the entire room was looking at me to like make a decision because I'm the one who determines how things move from there. And I'm like, oh my god, you guys are waiting for me to make the decision. Like, yeah, not
Imagine.
like that. And I was like, wait, me? Like, I even you start like looking back at
Yeah.
me.
Yes, I really relate to that. Yeah.
Yes, I
I
can
know.
imagine. And keep. I like that. Keep thriving. Keep pushing those boundaries. And I
Yeah.
like how you are representing this small country that people may not know in that at that very high level
Yeah.
conference, whatever it is. Keep wearing that hat. I think it's amazing.
Thank you so much. Yes, I will
What does your
push
mom think?
it.
What does your mom think when she sees you just like taking on the world? Like that
Goga.
woman must be very proud. Like,
She would be very, very proud. Goga, she would be so proud. It's one of the things that I am. I'm not over that yet. I'm so sorry.
oh, sorry.
I can't talk about it anymore. It's something I'm working on, but I unfortunately she's not here, and it makes me sad.
I understand.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
cost
But
of
yeah,
success. Yeah, the
she
cost
would
of
be the proudest woman on earth. Mm-hmm.
I like that. And, yeah, I will not push that until we are ready, probably to talk about it in the next time we come to the Sunday service. But
Yeah,
just,
yeah. I'm working
just
on that.
yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
keep doing that. Just keep doing that amazing work. Like I'm sure she's proud wherever she is, just watching over her
Yeah.
daughter. If you could
Mm-hmm.
speak to the younger version of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
before Switzerland, before the PhD, before the nursing career, just when you are starting off, when even the future, I'm sure you have been in a place in life where you don't even see the future. Like life is just hard. You don't even see like an opportunity. If you could speak to that younger version of yourself who had no idea how life was going to turn out, what would you tell her?
Yeah. I would say if there's yeah, I would really tell her to try amidst all the unclarity, disclarity, all that, try to know what you want in life. Because, I have gone through life without knowing what I want to this point. Now maybe I'm trying to know what I want. But I have just been going through life and accepting every season. Things have just been happening. My life has just been happening. I never
Yes.
worked hard to do anything, just happening. But so I would tell my younger self to be a little bit more intentional and just define the one thing that I want to have in life, or that I want to be in life. Because I have seen in Europe or in Switzerland, for example, I've seen how people plan their life. Here in Kenya, we think that life is destiny,
Yeah.
to God, either to whom, and life just happens. There, people plan their life and it goes exactly the way they plan. Like they know that at by 12 years I finish
I'll be
obligatory school. By 16 years I finish my high school. By 22 I finish my university, and then I work for 1 year and then do 2 years of a master or 3 years a master, and then by 29 I have my family. And then so as soon they go through that, and the one who wants a PhD, for example, they will say, I want to finish my university by age 23, and then immediately do a master's and finish it by age 26, and do a PhD by 29. I start my family, I have my PhD. And so they plan their life and it goes like
and it,
that.
yeah.
Exactly like that. Like there is no Disney. Why? How come Disney doesn't control the life of a Swiss person, but Disney controls my life here? So my younger self, I would say, try to plan your life like they do.
And and I think also just looking at the opportunities there, for example, I think it makes it predictable. Like just looking at your PhD again as an example.
Yeah.
Do you think it has been easier doing the PhD because it's a foreign country? As why is it easier to get through the program in a foreign country? Because back at home, they are going to frustrate the hell out of you to finish that degree. It's like it's like the odds are just against you not to like finish it. They want to keep you longer in the university as much as possible. You are paying more school fees, but yet like in Switzerland, you're expected to finish your PhD within 3 years.
Yes. And there like not so many people want to do it because
Yeah,
people have planned their lives and they think that, well, we are rich enough, and we are well educated already, well educated enough, and they want to visit. So there they have a luxury problem.
yeah,
Many people are rich and many people don't have to work hard because their family lineage passes on wealth to them. So the wealth part, making money part, is not in their minds. Those ones who want career and power, they pursue those careers, but all the rest they don't want. So if you go into a PhD like me and a Kenyan, a Kenyan, we want education, we are not accessible to it, and then there we get it, and they are
yeah.
saying, oh, please do it, we will pay you, we will fund it fully, and we will pay you even to do it. We take it, right? And
Yes.
so for me, it's been easy because they assist in there. They really support and push you to do it, and give you all the support to do it. And you they also give you prospects. As soon as if you finish, this is what you're gonna get, like, it's really organized. It's really, they really promote it. They sell it well to people, and they promote you and support you to do it. That's how I have been able to do it.
And
And
that
of
takes
course,
me.
Kenyan, I jumped onto the idea. Sorry.
Of course, and I like that. I was just going to pick your brains on the same thing that you just used to finish the sentence. The Kenyan in you, of course, embraces it as an opportunity, and of course, you aggressively pursue it. And that takes me now to your life as an explorer, because you've been around the world. Rhee, how many countries have you visited? I know you don't even keep track anymore. How many countries have you been to in this globe that we call the world?
Oh my gosh. I have been, anyway. I think nowadays I don't count, but I
It's
think I,
hey, that's a flex right there. Guys, did you hear that human say that? Oh, there are so many I don't even know. I don't count anymore. Like,
and
okay, give us an estimate. How many?
in some countries I've been so many times back. Like, several times in one country. Anyway, there are not many. I've been to like 15 countries only, and in most of
That's
those countries,
good.
I've several times back into those countries, like 3 4 times in the same country. So
Yeah.
yeah.
How many languages do you speak?
Well, I speak fluently. Several languages, maybe five, or four, let's say. So, English, German, Kiswahili, Luya, so Bukusu, and a little bit of Luo. So four and a half.
There we go.
Yeah.
Um, and I like that, and that's important because one of the things, 15 countries is no mean feat. That means you've experienced like very different cultures just through your travel alone, and
Yeah.
living abroad also, of course, because I know you meet a lot of people from different parts of the world as well in your through your experience living abroad.
Mm-hmm.
What is that one thing that this all these travels has taught you that formal education could never even dare? Because one, I like one, before I ever left my country, and I even told a guest who was seated where you are. Before I ever left, the first time I ever left Kenya was in 2013. This was like 13 years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
it was so fascinating. I'd never boarded a plane. Okay, I'd boarded a plane locally, but like when you look at the map and then you see the line there. Now you are leaving the country, so that you're no longer within the confines of Kenya. It
Mm-hmm.
was such a fascinating experience, and I came back very different, because it was a bit of a different in the sense that it was almost embarrassing, because before you leave your country, you think that your country is everything. Then you go out there and somebody does not even know about your country. It was so like
Yes.
shocking for me. Like nobody knows, like, oh, where is that? It humbled me in a very good way. In a very good
Mm-hmm.
way. What is
Mm-hmm.
it for you like about travel? That what is it that the first time you ever took a plane to leave this country, whether it was work, whether it was like exploring, and you came back home? What is that thing that it taught you that, and that's because I know that's what kept you going and going and going and traveling to all these other countries.
Mm-hmm. I listen to you so keenly, and I think that what I've learned is, even to appreciate home more. The more I travel, the more I appreciate home. Like, there's no other place as good as home, or as comfortable as home. uh, you know I believe in going to another country. I don't just go to a country. I always connect with locals, the so-called locals. Like, I will never go to a country and get into a bubble, like, expat bubble, like, where people,
The
international
tourist,
people hang
the
around.
touristy parts, the touristy areas, and then you have no idea of what happens in the rest of the country.
Yes, I always go deep into the hind stage, like when I was in Sierra Leone and in Liberia. I even went to, like those people hiding in the forest doing some kind of
Wow.
rituals, yeah. And I let myself experience those local cultures, like I remember in Sierra Leone they put some stuff in my eyes, and then they told me I would see some magic in water. So I let myself do those things, and they turn out to be, they only work on locals and not to other people. Like if you're not in that culture, certain things really don't work on you.
Yeah.
So I am that person who goes deep into what it means to be local. Like you find me drinking palm wine on the in the backstage of in Ghana, for example,
Yeah.
drinking palm wine, but other people would think, oh, this thing is dirty. But it's only through doing those things that you
That you
get,
experience the culture.
yes, you experience the culture and you get to know the real thing, what it means to be a Sierra Leonean, what it means to be a Liberian, what it means to be a Ghanaian. You don't know it in the capital Accra,
Yeah.
so I do those things, and it has taught me humility, humility for other people's cultures. I
Yeah.
respect Liberians who eat snails, but I wouldn't really eat snails in my own country. I am so forever grateful that my country is what it is. We eat real things. So,
Professor Green is asking whether you've been to Jamaica.
mhm.
Professor Green is asking whether you've been to Jamaica.
Okay.
Yes.
No, no, I have never been to Jamaica yet, but I have been because I have really good friends over there, and
Yep.
it's on my bucket list. By the way, it's on my bucket list. You know what?
Me too.
Um, I I don't know. If you look at my hairstyle, you can imagine some of the things that I do.
Yep. You'll follow. Yeah, I think probably that's why he asked because he saw like some dreads there, and I was like, oh, this one looks, yeah, this one looks like they've had a taste of Jamaica. What has
And
been your
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, just finish that. Let me not allow that thought to go. And
No, I would really like to do just one thing that is associated with my hairstyle, and that thing is in Jamaica. I would
ah,
like to do it. You know
okay,
what I mean?
I think I have an
Yeah,
idea what it is, but I know kids are watching the show, so I will
yes.
keep quiet. Empowering generations, welcome, welcome, empowering generations. Nice to see you. What has been your most favorite country that you've been to? Like that place that even whenever you sit today, you're just like, oh my God, Goga, why did you bring it up? I want to go back immediately.
Honestly speaking, this country was Spain.
Hey, oh,
Spain.
Misha, can you say it louder? Misha Bless, can you come to the front of the class? Misha Bless, can you tell Kino Agoga is calling you? Kino, just wait there. I'm bringing your wife shortly. Misha Bless, can you come to the front of the class? Did you hear her favorite country? Spain. Spain. Misha Bless, come. I know you are listening in the bushes, but thank you so much for the super chat. Misha Bless, even if you try to bribe me to shut up, come to the front of the class. Why Spain? Why Spain?
Oh my gosh. Do
The
you
winners
know?
of the winners of the 2026 World Cup.
Look, oh, I didn't even know you, Goga. I didn't
That's
know.
that's why I'm busy dragging her because we were she was supporting Argentina. I was pro Spain, and
Yeah.
we kind of won. So yeah.
Look, Spain, I fell in love with Spain the first time I went there. First of all, Spain has really good weather. They don't have winter, it's always warm. And in
But
winter,
it's Europe.
Spain,
They don't
yeah,
have those crazy things.
no, in winter, Spain is like Nairobi, 20
Wow.
degrees, 15 degrees. Yes, really like in Nairobi. And the food is just so great. The shopping is great. Everything is just so nice, and the feeling, Spanish people, they start work at 9. They go home to have siesta at lunch. At lunch, because it's hot, it's a hot country, they go home to sleep. They have a siesta, and then they go back to work, and they eat late in the
Now I
evening.
understand. Now I understand why you love Spain. It's almost close to home. You're like, this is it.
Yeah. Actually, it's very close to Kenya.
Wait, did you say they go to sleep at lunchtime?
Yes, they do siesta. They sleep, they nap.
Spain. I like that. And the country that actually made you appreciate home more. Like, because I know you've been to those countries where you're just like, okay. So
Yeah.
home, there are certain benefits that we get at home, and we kind of take it for granted. So what was that country that for you you're just like, oh my god, I need to go back home?
This country was Liberia.
Liberia, Salif
Liberia.
Salif Johnson's country.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that country, a lot of things happen. Those are people who were brought back from the US. They were
Yeah.
a lot of people, they were slaves and they were brought back and they formed that country. And I could see how that affected the people in that country. Um, People are great, but the way they lived, like they are really poor. Even Monrovia, the capital city, people are poor as well. But I was in another deep, deep, deep down villagey
Mm,
county called Nimba. So there were a lot of destroyed houses, and people are so poor. So one small flat could be rented by different families. And
wow.
then imagine one family rents this room, another one that room, another one that room, another one that room, and each one has a wife and kids, families. And imagine what happens there. So one family, the parents go to work, and imagine the children. A lot of evil stuff happened to the children. I saw a lot of bad things, and the food. Do you know that I learned that in Kenya we have so many types of vegetables we eat. There, it's like the only vegetable people eat is uh, um, how is it called? Sweet potato and cassava leaves. Anything else is not there. Food is you are lucky to have some cassava to eat. You know, and I really really appreciated the way of life at home. So me, that country made me appreciate more and just want to go back home. You know, yeah. Unfortunately, many other countries are like that,
Mm.
and I always just say that we are blessed to have our country, Kenya. We are really blessed. Trust me, in many
Title,
aspects.
yeah. Title Pro says when my parents first got married, they rented a couch in someone's apartment, and that's where they lived. That's where they lived.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow,
So I'm trying to imagine because I was meeting somebody from I was meeting somebody who wants to do a project in Liberia last 2 weeks ago,
yeah.
and they were trying to paint a picture for me of what they're trying to do, and I had to go and like do my research after that because for me, I think I've always had a different mindset when it comes to Liberia because of course of their president is a Nobel laureate, and I've happened to have met her. So I think I had a totally different mindset after speaking to that gentleman, and you know,
Hmm.
I did not know that they really face a lot of especially food insecurity there, because
Yes, a lot.
we were having a conversation around food insecurity because there's a project they want to do there to just empower the farmers, and I totally had a newfound respect for Liberia, to be honest.
Hmm.
Because I think what you see on the media and what happens on the ground is totally like totally different. um
Yeah. And I normally go deep into the interior, and
uh,
so the media present things that
the
like
bubble, as you called it.
yeah. But what
Yeah.
happens really deep down? Oh, it's pathetic.
Okay.
Yeah,
uh, wow. Wamuyu, thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate you, Wamuyu. Wamuyu, I thought you were live. I think when I was coming into the live stream, I think, yeah, with the was it the baboon or something? Anyway, I digress. Um, guys, in case you have any question you want to ask Rhee, I really appreciate you staying with us this long. I'm just getting towards the tail end of the conversation with her, but she has promised to give me another like show. We are, and the other one may, who knows, the other one may be actually an interview in person. But I hope you guys are getting a sense of Switzerland and a sense of our experience. So I'm just trying to touch a bit of those four areas that she explores on her channel. When it comes to culture, especially in the countries you visited, Rhee, um, what is that one culture you've discovered in a country you visited that you wish Kenyans could embrace more? That you're like, this one we should take it to Kenya. Kenyans should have this culture.
Yes, definitely, definitely. The food culture in West Africa. Yeah, honestly, the food is not plain like Kenyan food. Spicy, jollof rice and some other different types of rice.
Yeah.
I enjoyed food, even if it was snails. It was really well marinated and seasoned. You know, their
Just
food.
you should see yourself talking about snails like that. I should see your face. I can't believe I still can't believe you're talking about snails like Wamuyu. Wamuyu, Wamuyu has lived in Europe for like 30 years. Wamuyu, this girl is your neighbor there in Europe. Look at this, she's talking about snails that very deliciously marinated. Yeah, I give up.
Really, the food culture in West Africa is great. Trust me. And people are more open and happier. Like you find a 60-year-old woman in a mini skirt and a spaghetti top
Woo! What?
having rocking life. Yeah. But in Kenya, you find a 60-year-old woman and is covered with a head tie and everything. So there are people in West Africa, people are hot. It's really, I really admire the people and the food culture, really.
Yeah,
And they're happy despite the
I
problems.
like that.
Yes.
Uh,
And sorry, go.
yeah, just finish. I think you might have
Yeah.
said what I was going to ask.
Yes, so the food culture and the people in West Africa, I wish it were in Kenya, but also the discipline in Europe, or rather in Switzerland, because Europe is big.
Mm.
The discipline and just in Switzerland, um, you can't take people like where I work, even I study like at work, somebody leaves their wallet there and it has like 1,000 Swiss francs and comes back the next day. Nobody even moves it on the side. They find
Wow.
it exactly there. You go to I go for hiking in the mountains, and I find in some mountain village a shop without an attendant, without a camera. You and it has some items for sale, let's say cheese or some honey. You pick it, you pay, and you go. There's no camera, nothing. So that level of trust, it's so
Wow.
much. I wish we had that in Kenya. You have to walk around with your things locked and everything.
I know, right?
My iPhone 17, I have to wear like three jackets and
Just to make sure that it is safe. I like that, by the way. That's a very the trust culture.
yes, it's really.
Wait, did you actually say that there's a shop without an attendant and you can just take the things?
Yes, without an attendant, without a camera, and the instructions are just there. How you should pay, and people just pick things, pay, and go, and there is nothing
And
that
nobody,
goes.
and nobody picks anything excess. They just pick what. Oh my God!
Imagine,
Wow!
just
Wow!
imagine that. Yeah, I always wonder. I just always wish.
I
Oh,
know
this.
the Kenyan in you.
Yes.
Even me, the Kenyan in me is finding that very strange because I think the environment you grow up in actually dictates a lot of how you
Yeah.
perceive the world.
I,
And
I reach those shops and I become so nervous. I'm like,
I
I look
know.
around, even when I pay, I pick something and pay. I look around. Is somebody seeing me? You have to see that I'm paying, guys. Yeah, I'm paying.
The environment you grow up in, man. Ah, and conversely, in case the roles are reversed, what is that culture about Kenya that you actually feel like some countries should have, the ones that you visited? Like, what is that one culture about us as a nation that makes sense for those other people as well?
Yeah, look, I think that as Kenyans, we have this Kenyan spirit, I call it, and I think I'm
Mm,
not the only one calling it that way. The Kenyan spirit. The Kenyan spirit is that drive that every Kenyan has to work. Kenyans want to go to work. You remember those days when on radio, our parents put on the radio very early in the morning, and there was
yeah.
someone saying, urging people to get up and go to school, go to work, or even singing. There was a song. I don't know who that was, but somebody urged some people very early on radio, like, get up, go to work, go to school, and all that.
Yes.
So that Kenyan spirit, like, work very hard, but in the evening go and enjoy your task or your drink, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all over. Like, the Kenyan professionals I've met, they bear that spirit. Like, the Kenyan spirit in me has made me withstand all those stresses and everything. So
Mm,
and when we go to work, people always realize, hey, there's a Kenyan. And I think the more I go to other countries, the more I hear that, oh, there's a Kenyan, and Kenyans have a certain work culture that is really amazing, and people are likely to hire a Kenyan compared to somebody else. So that Kenyan spirit, it's a spirit that makes us to go on to work hard, to
yep.
strive, even when there's something is so hard or stressful.
Yeah.
That Kenyan spirit makes
You're
me
the,
get up
you're the
and
one
go.
right. Like that example you just gave. Like, yeah, probably you are the only African in most of these setups that you're in there in Europe.
Yes.
But then the Kenyan spirit in you has to like make sure it's aggressive in embracing these opportunities. And I think I like how you are embracing that opportunity. You made the decision to become Swiss. Um, so that means that, yes, of course you are Kenyan, but also now you happen to be a Swiss citizen. What inspired that decision, and like, how does it feel, especially now that because of course Kenya nowadays allows for dual citizenship and stuff. So how does it feel? Because now you, on one card, you have to like speak the Swiss conversation, and then you have to switch back and you are Kenyan when it's when it's important. How do you find it balancing two nationalities?
Wow. Yeah. I think that becoming Swiss was a very good decision because it opens up ways, like, just with that red Swiss passport,
Yeah,
you have a lot of privileges. Like, you can access so many countries without questions. And also, being Swiss, it has also given me some level of responsibility for that country.
oh
Like,
nice.
yes, I think consciously, I do things consciously, and I somehow have that urge to, like, protect the Swissness. Like, they have certain values like cleanliness, respect, discipline, and you find me even joining some small groups. They are called associations. Those are really typical Swiss things. Like, every person joins some association. So I'm doing all those things. Not all those. I try my best to do those
Yeah.
things to uphold the Swissness. um, so that has definitely been good. But I find myself in hot water when I talk about Swiss people, and yet I
You
am
are Swiss.
yeah. And so my hypothesis here is that even with that passport, becoming a native of a country at my age, at this point, I think that I am Swiss on paper. I have that red passport, but it doesn't change who I am. It doesn't change my
The DNA.
nationality. Yeah, it doesn't change the Kenyan in me. And I think it's wrong to even think that people can become, like I am Swiss on paper, but I'm not Swiss. I'm so far away from becoming Swiss. And this is the reality, but you don't say that
Of
over there.
course, yeah, yeah, but deep down is the reality. And I know
Yeah.
it was not easy. I know it was also not easy for them to just give you citizenship like that. I know it was a journey, and you
Yes.
had to like fulfill certain things. And
Yeah.
in case
Yes.
there's somebody who's thinking, somebody on the chat out of the 36 eyes that are looking at us right now, in case
Mm.
somebody ever thought of getting a Swiss citizenship, in like 1 or 2 words, what is the biggest hurdle you had to go through to get that citizenship?
Uh, First, the language, depending where you live. So, in my case, German language
Mm.
at a very high level. So, language was a hurdle. For me, it wasn't so much because I learned it very fast. So, the language and also the integration in society. Um, so, so knowledge of the Swiss country. Me, the explorer in me, I explored so many places. You need to know,
Ah,
yeah, like you have to go through an examination in the German language. So in my case, so you need to know the language very well. You need to know places, like even that glacier you saw. They asked like, what is the name of the biggest glacier and where is it? And so I have been there, so it's easy for me to answer. And having to so deep I explored the country. So it's a hurdle if you don't explore the country. So when you go to Switzerland, first learn the language of the region where you live. Secondly, explore the country and talk to people, locals. Have local friends, because this all matters in the exam to become a citizen.
wow. Oof.
Yeah.
And for me, I think I just like, do you find yourself, are there like some, like when you come back home, for example, and maybe you are speaking with your siblings,
Yeah.
or even your Kenyan friends, and they're like, that's such a sweet behavior. Like there are certain things I'm sure that have rubbed off on you now, 10 years in Switzerland. That even if sometimes you catch yourself and you're like, okay, that is definitely not Kenyan. I need to like
Yeah.
let me adjust to fit into the home narrative.
Yes. People tell me that I explain too much. Like I ask people, now are you gonna come? Are you gonna eat? Will you eat?
Oh,
Or
the Swiss neutrality thing finally rubbed off.
yeah, like like would you like to eat? How much would you like to eat? At what time are you gonna come? People just tell me, what kind of stop it. Just easy. Easy. Stop it. Don't ask so many questions.
But
And
it's because the culture there is very specific on this. It asks these precise things because
yes,
it runs on preciseness, efficiency, and things like that. So I can see how
yes,
that it's rubbing off on you and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's a good one. And yeah, and I think it was very important for me to just get that clarification. And just getting into the last segment, which was of course just these are very general before we do the rapid fire, then we can release you.
Mm-hmm.
There was that question I wanted to ask, especially in terms of just hold on, let me get it. It was somewhere here. Yes, I've gotten it.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Okay. And thank you so much, everyone. I can see the thumbs up. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate that. Yes, there is a question. When you look at when you started, when you first set foot in Switzerland over 10 years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
um, and now that where you've settled in, you've made it a home. You now have like a citizenship as well. You are Swiss. You are now Swiss, clearly. When you look at when you started back in the day, when you're trying to learn languages, figure out the country, do the exploration, get jobs, get through your master's degree, which took you there. And when you look at yourself in Switzerland today, now as Swiss, now as a Kenyan Swiss, what would you say it costs you? Because there's one question I like asking people who have done something that was really out of their comfort zone. What was the cost of being here today, Rhee? Like the cost of being a Kenyan Swiss? Because I know there are sacrifices that you had to make. I know there are decisions you had to make. I know there are opportunities you had to turn down. I know there are relationships you had to like let go. What was the cost of being here today? Like being a Kenyan Swiss, 10 years in and still pursuing your degree and still doing your job and still exploring the world when you can.
Yeah. I have lost relationships. I have lost friends. Worst of all, my both parents have passed on in my absence.
Oh.
Um, yeah, and it's very painful. Okay, I don't regret it, but I think that for me, something like relationships, I don't fit into the stereotypes of uh, a woman, a woman and all these different stages of a woman. I don't fit into those. So I have, I think when I look at the on Kenyan standards, I have really missed a lot of milestones
Mm.
on Kenyan standards. But when I look at Swiss standards, I think I'm just okay.
You're doing
a little
just fine. I love that. Yeah.
a little bit of an outlier who extremely is focused on the profession and education and exploration and not anything else. And of course, all these many years of study have lost money. Like
Oh
people
yeah.
who decided to like do a degree in Switzerland, for example, do a degree and then go on working. They are I will never catch up with those people, like in terms of wealth. Um, of course, they will never catch up with me in terms of knowledge, but in terms of wealth, I will never catch up. So people have gone on making wealth, making families, and all that, but I'm not really. But it's choice. It's choice. So there are many. There are costs that this has come with. I don't regret any of those. Like as I said before, my life has just been happening. I've just been navigating through life without really a plan, but really doing the things that I like. I like exploring, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy at where to be where I am at. But of course, looking at the lost relationships, the lost wealth, uh, and of course I've lost some opportunities, I'm sure, because I'm studying. I'm sure there have been very nice job opportunities which I have missed.
Mm.
But looking at the future and the near future and what is just unfolding before me, I think it's just exactly what I wanted. Like if I would start to change to do my contribution within the healthcare system and my dream of the wellness thing. This is exactly what I wanted in life. So yeah, but it's painful to lose friends and relationships because you're pursuing something else like education.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I think I was listening to some podcast, I think early in the week, and they were saying that sometimes that is the cost of growth. Growth sometimes forces you to like do certain things that you don't even plan for it. It just happens naturally because that next level of your life is going to demand that you have to lose certain things, certain relationships, certain like I like how you brought in the idea of money and things like that. So, but ideally, that's the price that you had to leave this country 10 years ago,
yeah,
and that was separation. You had to separate yourself from familiar. You had to leave like a local job, probably,
yeah,
just be able to go and pursue a dream. And yeah, and then the sad thing is you're never so sure it will pay off. Like
yeah,
you're never.
yes,
Yeah, you're never so certain that it's going to pay off because it can backfire.
yeah,
Um, Yes. Yeah.
So
Anyway,
true.
I think that's it. The last thing that we are going to ask you, we have these rapid fire questions before we allow you to like close for us. The rapid fire questions, I'm just going to ask you 10 because I know we are going to meet again for part two. Um, these are just 10 random questions. You may either need to say yes or no. You may not need to overthink them. So I've
Okay.
just selected like 10 of them, and they all speak into a summary of the conversation we've just had today. Number one, okay, this is going to be a bit obvious. I can put you on the spot. Kenya or Switzerland?
Kenya.
Of course, of course. I like what you said. Where you run to, that is home.
Yeah.
Okay, beach or mountains?
Divided by beach.
Beach. Okay, 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 okay. I heard you speaking about the way you talked about going to that hike in glacier place. Clearly, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Oh, you're a coffee girl like me. Nice. Thank you so much for
Yes.
that confirmation. Solo travel or you're an introvert, so most likely you're going to say solo travel. Solo travel or travel with friends.
Solo.
Okay, okay, I knew it. Favorite Kenyan food? I can
Mm.
don't take kienyeji chicken.
Kunde.
Wait, kunde.
Yeah.
Like that is so random. Like I've never had somebody say kunde, like the vegetable.
Yeah. Cowpeas. Leaves.
That is so random. Like I've never had anybody say kunde is their favorite. That's
Yeah.
a good one. Welcome, Travel and Foods. Nice to see you. Okay. The next one, number 5. One country that is still on your bucket list.
Jamaica.
Yeah, man. Wagwan.
Yeah.
The Jamaicans are so happy on the live stream. They're just like, I can see Evangelist Sandy there on the chat. Elsie Knight is getting excited. Jamaicans, can you relax? Jamaicans relax. She just said like Jamaica, don't push it. Then gym or yoga?
Jim.
Gym, okay. I saw you lifting weights and stuff.
Yeah.
If you are not a nurse, Rhee, what will you be?
A lawyer.
What? What? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right. One wellness trend. One wellness trend you wish will disappear.
Nordic walking.
What is that? What does that mean?
You know, that walking where you walk briskly with sticks, two sticks, and you're like, you're really in
Okay,
sync.
what did it do to you? What did that walking do to you? Because I have questions. This is coming from a trauma place.
Because you know what? It's very okay. Nothing against older women. Nothing against. But it's you know, I meet only older Swiss women doing this Nordic walking whenever I go jogging in the forest or in the mountains, and they are so unfriendly. You know, like they are so much in sync with, in sync with the sticks, and even when you say hello, they don't hear you. So I feel they're really selfish. So I just don't wish to have this Nordic walking. And why the hell don't young people also do the Nordic walking? Why just all the women? Yeah. So
That is, guys, that is trauma talking. There she say, it's how she had the answer directly for me. It's how you already knew the answer. Like I'd given her a cheat sheet. Okay. Last question. Um, Describe your dream wellness retreat, the one that you want to establish, in
yeah,
3 words. Describe your dream wellness retreat in 3 words.
luxury,
Mm,
Relaxing,
mm.
heavenly.
Eish. Luxury, relaxing, heavenly. I do
Yeah.
hope you find that as you build, as you build. And now
Yeah.
the final question, we are going to now just leave you on solo layout so that you can wrap up the conversation for us. I know I've kept you here for like longer. Thank you so much for giving us an extra hour than I know you've been sitting for so long. I don't take that for granted. So I'm just the last part of the conversation is just like to give you the platform in case there's something that you think you wanted to pass across as your message, you can pass it. And then, guys, in case you are still on the chat, please jump over on the pinned link and connect to Rhee before we end her live stream because we are going to end it like shortly. So in case you've not yet like connected to her, I want you to jump there real quick so that as she's doing her outro, you make sure you are connected to her. And then once we end her live stream, you can come back here for the affirmation and then we'll figure out who we are going to raid. David Ant has already given me the raid command. So I'm ready for that. So Rhee, thank you so much for really spending all this time with me. I feel like this conversation has not ended. It feels like
Yes.
I feel like I want to ask more, but I'm also like mindful of the time and I know it's late and I know you've been moving around and about. Nelly is saying that Rhee, you are very funny. Yeah, I know she has quite a sense of humor, to be honest. But I know she has promised me that we are going to have another. We are going
Yes.
to keep it a surprise. Let me not say so much about it because it's still like a surprise in the works. But three, I don't take it for granted. Three, almost 4 hours of your time spent at the Sunday service. That's huge, by the way. That's how interesting you are, and you know it also shows how much information and such a wealth and tower of knowledge that you are. So I'm just going to give you the story layout to wrap up the conversation for us, and then we'll be able to like release you. So over to you.
Yeah.
Let me see whether I can get that. There we go.
Oh, thank you so much, Goga. You know, when you asked me that, I felt it was such a pleasure. And indeed, it has been a pleasure. Look, it feels like it's been an hour only. And I also, just like you, I feel like there's more to discuss and more to talk
Yeah.
about and to laugh about than what we just said. And for me, it's been so much fun, really. And Goga, you're such an intelligent person, the kind of questions
Oh,
you've asked, and
thank you.
the summaries you made, and the contribution, your own contribution and discussion that you brought in. It's really, you're such an intelligent person. And you know, STT, the queen, when she sent me to your channel, she kept telling me, hey, go to Goga, you'll never regret. It's great over there. And it's been great. I really appreciate. And you know, it's very special, this kind of collabos that you do. It's so special. You're very creative, even to create something like this, a Sunday live service. I was nervous, honestly, as always. I am always nervous, even if I've been on so many stages. And the first few minutes, I was nervous. I always am, and I felt so much at home. Thank you so much. I think we've discussed so much, and for the sake of the time, for me, it feels like it's been an hour, but for the sake of the people watching us, I think that let's have a next conversation, and I can't wait for that conversation. Thank you so much for the super chatters. Thank you so much for everybody that has been here, stayed until now. It's not for granted, right? Hey guys, I'm just me. I like having fun, and I'm enjoying every part of this, and I like collaboration. So, okay, thank you so much. I can't wait to share more with you next time. And I can't wait to connect with you, as we said, somewhere else. This we will discuss later. So thanks. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. It's been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Yeah, I see
Thank you
John
so.
Papa,
Thank you
Kota.
so much.
Really.
Appreciate that, Rhee. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to end her live stream so that at least we don't necessarily discuss things that are unrelated to the chat. But thank you so much, Rhee. May you have an amazing night. I will send you a link tomorrow for you to like approve the collaboration, and then we'll set up the other conversation soon.
Super. Perfect.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for hosting me.